What's up? What's happening, family? It's your man, Mark Black. First of all, before we even get started, I want to shout out Tavares. Thanks for the subscribe, brother. Please stick around. I do what I do for you, and I'm glad to have you as a part of the Angry Black Sheep. So, family, first of all, I want to wish every one of you a happy Saturday. I hope that you had a great night last night. You made it. It's the end of the week. It's time for your Sucka-Free Saturday, right, where we can get it in. Salute to the brother CRU. Shout out to Sister Nicole Ali. Shout out to the brother Allen. Shout out to Miss Denny. Shout out to brother Turin and everybody who's watching live. If you're watching live, make sure that you go ahead and pop yourself into the chat. You don't have to, say a lot or whatever the case may be. I just want to make sure to give you some love and welcome you to the broadcast. So, family, I have to say, damn, what a week it's been. What a week it has been. We are going to talk about it today. Don't you worry, family, because I'm going to open up the Discord later. So if you want to get on and you have something you want to say, this is the place to say it. All right. So let's go ahead and get started, because this Sucka-Free Saturday is discussing something that this whole country has been afraid of, just direly afraid of. And that, brothers and sisters, is today, is the day of our unification. Let's talk about that a little bit, right? Salute, brothers. Universal, welcome to the broadcast. Glad to have you. First of all, I want to say that I'm glad to be out of the cold. You know what I'm saying? I want to say thank you to everybody who's been watching my Morning Joe broadcast. That's going to be a thing Monday through Friday every morning. I'm going to ride with you for 10 minutes. We're going to talk about a quick subject. We're going to hit it. We're going to quit it. We're going to get some fat on our heads, get some love in our hearts, and get moving with our day. So I appreciate y'all showing the love for my Morning Joes. The day of our unification. It's funny, family. This week has been a week full, chock full of motherfuckers getting exposed. But let me correct that. Let me pause for a second. This week has been the week where people have been exposing themselves, right? It ain't necessarily been no exposés, right? Nothing on the order of the fuckery that happened last week, and that's all I'm gonna say on it. People have been telling themselves. They've been telling on themselves, right, family? Y'all know what I'm talking about. We've seen Kamala Harris tell on herself. We've seen Cory Booker tell on himself. We've seen motherfuckers like Angela Rye telling on herself. We saw the Shireen Mitchell character telling on herself. We seen Joy-Ann Reid telling on herself, right? We seen this Simone Sanders character telling on herself. You dig? It's a lot of motherfuckers that are exposing themselves this week. I haven't said it publicly as of yet, so let me go ahead and say it right now, family. 2019 is going to be the year where everybody who denies reality is going to have to face the music. All of those people who have had their traditional places acting as sheepdogs, gatekeepers, way blockers, obstacles, are going to be exposed. And the best part about it is they're going to expose themselves, and I'm going to tell you how they're going to do it. First of all, I want to talk briefly about the topic that's got many of you watching today. As you all know, I am a proponent, an advocate, a voice for the American descendants of slaves. I am a descendant, a proud descendant of slaves here in the United States. And I have done some broadcasts recently where I called out a specific group of individuals and their acolytes, their followers, right? They're useful idiots. And I've gotten quite a bit of heat for it. Yes, I'm talking about black immigrants, whether diasporan black immigrants from other nations outside of America or African immigrants. I have been told that I hate other black people. I have been told that I am siding with white supremacists. I have been told that I am willing to throw Africa under the bus. I have been told that I am a bot. And I've been loving every motherfucking minute of it. Because you see, family, this accounting has been long overdue. Long overdue. I want to share with you some historical information that gives context to why it is that 2019 is going to be the year that exposes these motherfuckers. Welcome back, Sister Nicole. By the way, shout out to Brother Robert. Welcome to the broadcast. We have had black immigrants. Shout out to Brother Cease. Welcome to the broadcast. We have had black immigrants who have come here to the United Snakes, who have been on board with the agenda of justice, remuneration, healing, and reparations for the descendants of slaves. Shout out to the Honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey. Shout out to El Malik al-Shabazz, also known as Malcolm X, who are both of immigrant stock. These are black people that the American descendants of slaves have seen as icons. We count them amongst our best and brightest. So for you no good ass motherfuckers to sit here and say that we hate black immigrants, you motherfuckers are worse than white supremacists. You're the worst. I got nothing but absolute and utter contempt for you at this point. There has never, ever in the history, welcome to the broadcast, Real Spiel. There has never in the history of America where we have had black immigrants come here that have not been embraced as a member of our people, as long as they support the aims, the goals, the aspirations of our people. Because yes, motherfuckers, we are our own people. These pan-Africanists and African immigrants that come here, you motherfuckers are really telling on yourselves these days, ain't you? You really telling on yourselves these days with the shade that you are throwing at people like me, because for the first time in practically forever, the American descendants of slaves are organizing ourselves into our own tribe. You go all throughout Africa and the diaspora, and every black person you know identifies with either a nationality or a tribal affiliation. If you're from Jamaica, you identify as Jamaican. If you're from Haiti, you identify as Haitian. right? If you from Antigua, you identify as Antiguan. If you from motherfucking Kenya, you might identify as Kikuyu. If you from Ghana, you might identify as Akan, right? So on and so forth. And we ain't never said shit to y'all about it. Sure, when we look at the analysis of it, we say, why do y'all bang so much amongst each other as different tribal groups? Perhaps y'all should try to unite around your commonalities while still maintaining your tribal heritages. But other than that, the American descendants of slaves haven't given y'all any shade for identifying where you're from, repping where you're from. Ah, but isn't it funny? The moment we say, hey, this tribal shit isn't such a bad idea. Why don't we organize and identify ourselves based off of our distinct and unique lineage as the descendants of slaves in this country? Now it's rah, 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 rah. It's grabbing the torches and pitchforks. You motherfuckers are shameless. Absolutely fucking shameless. But that's okay though, because we see you. Real spill, real talk, us first. See, family, the day of our unification is the day that a whole lot of motherfuckers find their whole world turned upside down. Now, we all understand, us descendants of slaves, I'm talking to us, family, right? We all understand why the white folks, you know, pale people, might be a little bit scared at the idea of us coming together and set aside our respective differences to unite around our lineage. We know why they're afraid, right? Because they're afraid of retribution. They're afraid of us returning to them what they have delivered to us for 400 years at this point, since 1619 to 2019. I told you motherfuckers that 2019 is about to be the year of revelation. A lot of motherfuckers is going to tell on themselves, and they're going to be exposed for who they really are. 400 years of fuckery we faced in this hellhole of a crucible of a country. But we have been the most loyal, the most dedicated, the most honorable. And now that we are tired of infighting, tired of being separated, being predated upon by every fucking group out here, and we are deciding to pack up to become our own pack and to go for what we know, it's a lot of motherfuckers that's scared than shit. Robert, that's a good question, bro. I'm actually gonna be working on some merchandise. So keep staying, stay tuned, right? Because I'm definitely going to be getting some merch so that we can stand with each other.
Just passing the plate. I support New Black Media.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Brother Cease, for the tip, man. I appreciate it. Family, these immigrant black folks, though, ain't the only motherfuckers that's telling on themselves. Because we've have had a group of individuals who wear our face, who share our lineage, who have been willing to sell us out, throw us under the bus for a pot of porridge and a necklace made of beads. I'm talking about these petty bourgeois, boule, bootlicks. That's right, bootlicks. Family, before we continue, let's talk about this. I do have an idea as part of my Morning Joe broadcast to get some coffee cups that rep DOS, that rep ADOS. If y'all would be interested in that, pop a 1 in the chat. Because if so, I'm going to try to have that set up for us this week. Right? So we can have our Morning Joe together. So we can stand together and rep our tribe. Would you be interested in that? Pop a 1 in the chat if you'd be interested in helping your brother, purchasing, helping your brother's channel and purchasing some merchandise that reps our tribe. Let me know if that's something that'd be interesting to you. We have seen recently, especially with the advent, the beginning of the campaigns for the election for president in 2020. We have seen, by the way, shout out to you, Rogue Cylon. Welcome to the broadcast. I got my missus in the chat. Welcome, Angie. Right? So we have seen, shout out to you, Brother Lloyd. Welcome to the broadcast. So I'm seeing that there's definitely an interest. Y'all keep y'all's eyes peeled on your Morning Joe this week, because I'm going to have that set up before the end of this week. And I'm going to give you links and places where you can go and acquire your particular coffee cup. We can enjoy our Morning Joe together and rep our tribe. We've seen these motherfuckers utilize their white purchase, their purchase on the tree of the white media, come out here and attempt to slander our grassroots movement. We're talking about bitches like Shireen Mitchell, bitches like Angela Rye, and so on, who are using their public platforms to try to strangle us in the cradle. I don't think you understand, family, just how important what has happened this week is. Shout out to you, Lowcast. Nothing much, brother. Welcome. I'm sorry, brother or sister. I can't tell, but shout out to you. Salute and welcome to the broadcast. I can't tell you how important what happened this week is to us, the American descendants of slaves. Family, many of you were outraged, and rightfully so. But allow me to posit to you that this was our coming out party. That's right. That now that they have they black immigrant sheepdogs and gatekeepers and they bourgeois bootlicks coming at us, that means that they have to acknowledge the reality of what and who we are. We are no longer flying underneath the radar. They've let us know beyond any reasonable doubt that they see us and that we are having effect. And they firing shots. Family, this is finally the moment that people like Sister Yvette Carnell, shout out to her, and people like Brother Antonio Moore, shout out to him, have been preparing us for the last 3 years. They told us that once we finished with Politics 101, right? Once we knew who was out there, looked at the political environment, seeing how politics operates, who's doing who shot who, and so on and so forth. Once we finished with 101 and we was ready to step it up to 102, which is organization and full-on advocacy of the American descendants of slaves position that they was going to come at us. Shout out to T-Mac and welcome to the broadcast. These fools don't even understand that we've been preparing for them for the last 3 years. We saw them coming before they even knew we were a factor. Family, if nothing else, you should be proud as a motherfucker for that. Because this means that we are doing exactly what we have set out to do. We're getting our political and historical education. We're understanding how our lineage ties us together. We're setting aside our petty differences about who's fucking who's worshiping who lives with who eats what, and so on and so forth. And we're organizing around the one tie that binds, the tie of history, the tie of lineage, the tie of blood. Shout out to you, Leo. Welcome to the broadcast. Ain't no bots up in here, family. Only real American descendants of slaves. So let's keep it real, brothers and sisters. We knew this day was coming. We knew that the moment that we started to put together solid platforms, shout out to Dr. Sandy Darity. Shout out to Dr. Dark Hamilton. When we started to look at options for our remediation and our healing, such as baby bonds, such as a comprehensive reparations program. And as soon as we started understanding what these things are and started full-throated advocacy for them, started making that the litmus test behind whom we support, who we accept, who we disdain, who we reject, we knew that they were going to come at us. So, in point of fact, family, when we saw Shireen and Joy Ann Reid get on AM Joy and say that bullshit right then and there, you should have threw up your hands in a hosanna and said, God damn it, we're on our way. When, like our man Antonio Moore say, we coming. We kicking in the motherfucking door and they can't stand it. It's making them sick. Their little traditional sinecures, their little places of security given to them by the white dominant society is under threat. Because part of the reason why Joy Ann Reid and her ilk can be on their media outlets is because they have posed as black people, as Negro whisperers. Oh shit. Those niggas is getting head up. Who we gonna have go out there and talk to them and calm them down? All of the old civil rights fossils are all dying off, or we know they have all been bought off. Shout out to Al Sharpton. Shout out to John Cummings and the whole entire congressional black carcasses. So we ain't listening to them no more. We ain't being sheepdogged and herded firmly back onto the Democratic plantation by them motherfuckers no more. We ain't gave Donna Lemon no respect since fucking Ferguson. So now, if we start going in and shutting this bitch Joy Ann Reid down and all these other black talking heads, a lot of the motherfuckers is gonna lose their little secure spots. So this is why they got to go on the attack. This is why, family, we've established a foothold because we come bearing the motherfucking truth and a mighty people for the pulling down of strongholds. That's who the fuck we are. That is who the fuck we are. Make no mistake about it, family. Our time has come. And they will do everything, and I do mean everything, to try to dissuade you otherwise. They will try to malign your leaders. They will try to get us off on this other bullshit of gender politics and alternate identity politics. They might say some of your leaders might be gay or transgender or bisexual. They might say, oh, that person's atheist. What the fuck do they know about black people? We can't get caught in the traps, family. They gonna come at us now with both barrels. And I'm not talking about the white folks, believe it or not. I'm talking about these motherfucking black immigrant gatekeepers and the motherfucking boule bootlicks. That's who I'm talking about. Shout out to Brother Dave. Welcome to the broadcast. You know what's good, little brother. I'm getting it the fuck in today. This is Sucka-Free Saturday. For those of you who don't know, now you know. Make sure you tune in every Saturday for Sucka-Free Saturday. Because here, we gonna keep it real. We ain't gonna use a bunch of polished talk, a bunch of highfalutin $50 words. We gonna talk to our people, about our people, and full-throated advocacy for our people. My tribe first. But unlike what a lot of you punk-ass, flip-flopping ass gatekeeper black immigrants might think, I am still for black people in general. I just say that charity starts at home. I want to talk to you for a minute, family, about the bullshit that's being thrown at us, not from these boule bootlicks, because there's another group right now who's calling themselves attacking us. I'm talking about the so-called pan-Africanist. These niggas whose family is firmly and fully from Georgia, but they walk around like with names like Omawale and Gunte Shinkatele and shit. Them niggas, right? They government name is Curtis Jones, but they Pan-African name is Hayamala Kunamali Binakala or some shit. Yeah, they coming at us, family. They coming at us. There's this motherfucker on Twitter called Omawale Africa. How unique of a name is that? Who called himself writing an article aligning the ADOS movement with the maggots. Make America great again, motherfuckers. Now, there's nothing. By the way, shout out to the brother Kraken. Welcome to the broadcast. Glad to have you. Now, never mind the fact that those of us who have been proponents of this movement since its inception have learned one thing. Data talks and bullshit runs the marathon. So this motherfucker's article, don't worry, when this broadcast goes up, I'll leave a link to the Medium article that he wrote calling himself trying to attack us, claiming to have debunked all of our talking points, shitting on brother Moore and Sister Carnell, right? I'll leave a link to it. So you can go and show this motherfucker just how much you respect his opinion. He didn't include a single item of data. No citations, no reports. Just a bunch of motherfucking tweets. Another goddamn wannabe pro-black, conscious, woke, pan-African, pseudo-intellectual with delusions of fucking grandeur, expounding on an outdated, outmoded philosophy that hasn't done shit for the American descendants of slaves. Let me ask y'all a question, if I may. And since y'all a captive goddamn audience, I can do what I want. Let me ask y'all a question. Welcome to the broadcast, Laker gang. Yeah, shout out. Shout out to the brother, the elder BGS. But let me ask y'all a question. Tell me one thing. Thank you for the sub. I am Black Man. Welcome to the Angry Black Sheep. Tell me one thing that the pan-Africanists have actually done that benefits the daily lives of the American descendants of slaves. Listen, I'm not throwing shade right now. Not throwing any shade. I'm asking a legitimate question. Name me one thing. Let me give you a time frame so as to make it easier. In the last 50 years, what has been one thing that pan-Africanists have actually done, advocated for, expounded upon, that has had an actual benefit to the daily lives of American descendants of slaves? Brother C said nothing. Brother Robert said not a damn thing. I got my opinion too, but it's more than an opinion, it's facts. They ain't done shit. Now, this is not to say that we don't have enough of a heart in us as the American descendants of slaves to recognize that we are children of Africa and that a portion of us always belongs to the motherland. All of it, all 54 nations of it. We claim it all, unlike them motherfuckers. They can't even organize in an African Union and do that shit right. But they got the nerve to come over here and tell us how we supposed to be. Fuck that, I digress. What? Define pan-Africanist. BGS, I define pan-Africanist as seeing your interests, regardless of being either diasporan or in the motherland itself, seeing your individual collective interests as tied to Africa, the continent as a whole. And you please feel free to clarify that for me or correct it for me. I appreciate it. And shout out to you, elder brother. Welcome to the broadcast. I can tell you from my own experience what I have seen from the alleged or so-called pan-Africanists. I have seen them do great advocacy for us all over the diaspora to keep our eyes on what has happened in Africa. Because believe it or not, I believe in giving credit where credit is due. Very many of us would know very little about Africa were it not for the effort of some strong, solid pan-Africanists, especially in light of the fact that many of us have never even left the country. So I give them credit for that. We've had quite a few strong pan-Africanists who have worked hard to educate us about how things are operating in Africa as a whole, not just in individual nations, but the power dynamics, the geopolitical functions, the economic systems, the neo-colonialism and things like that that affect the motherland. So shout out to them. Yes, Pan-Africanists see us as a diaspora. And that, to me, now that I think about it, BGS, is a problem. I know what the term diaspora means. It means the dispersed ones. But I believe that if you are Pan-Africanist, to call us the dispersed ones creates an artificial separation, a false dichotomy. Even though I do have, as a descendant of slaves, some admixture of European blood in me because of the nature of chattel slavery, I am still a child of Africa. I cannot help being anything but that. So why the artificial distinction? Why call me the dispersed? Especially when you're not making any efforts to come get me. Let me ask you another question, family. If you went on a trip, let's say you went to Tokyo with your family. Your reparation movement came from them. Garvey movement was a Pan-African movement. Okay, facts. I don't disagree. So why then we can't get the full-throated support from them at this point? If what we're doing, what we're advocating for ourselves as descendants of slaves, has been something that has long been a plank in the Pan-Africanist platform, why the shade? I think that's an appropriate question, brother BGS, do you not? CJ, shout out to you. Welcome to the broadcast. Are Nigerians giving us reparations too? Shit. Good question. Because personally, I think there's a lot of motherfuckers that owe us. That's just me. But that's my personal opinion. I'm not going to throw that out there and expect anybody to stand on that. I am not against black immigrants. I am against them coming here and trying to control the narrative to try to become the definition of what constitutes blackness. If they don't like, this goes out to you, all the black immigrants who will watch me and say, I hate you. If you hate how blackness is defined in this country so much, why aren't you working with us to help us change how it's defined? Change how blackness is defined, rather than sweeping us out of the way and trying to redefine blackness to include you. What about them, Fred? What about them? I know stories of American descendants of slaves that owned and sold slaves. So let me share with you a story that I heard, and you feel free to look it up yourself. There was a black freedman. I forget the brother's name, and I apologize for that. So just consider this a story. I know a black freedman who went and purchased 3 slaves. 3. When he got his manumission and became a freedman, he went and purchased 3 slaves, a woman and 2 children. Now, that purchase of slaves counts as a slave sale. Most definitely. This man bought slaves. Do you know who that woman and those 2 children were, though? That was his family. I would argue that that was more often than not the case. I can't say it was the case in every circumstance. And trying to deflect from our fucking point by bringing up individual situations that individual motherfuckers did to try to destroy a collective argument is on its face bullshit. Get the fuck out of here. Y'all done learned to argue like white folks with your little deflection tactics. Don't come at me with that bullshit. I don't want to hear about individual pan-Africanists who have done and said certain things. Marcus Garvey came to this country at a time when black immigration was 0 by law. Matter of fact, one of the first things that black advocates such as W.E.B. Du Bois and W.E.B. Du Bois and others made sure to fight for was to try to limit white immigration from Europe and open up black immigration from Africa. But we get no goddamn credit for that. We ain't never been against black immigration. And you know what, Fried or whatever, Fried Plantain 7, you support DOS and keep it 100, then if you support us, then you understand the need to set aside little individual acts and look at the big picture. You understand that we can't fucking miss the forest for the trees, do you not? That's not keeping it 100. That's deflection. That's saying, oh, but because one black person did something ill, that discounts the whole entire. That's a logical fallacy. That's a composition fallacy. You're saying that because something is true of an individual, that it's true of a collective. That's a composition fallacy. Try and use some logic for a second. That's all I'm asking. You got a brain computer, and I trust that you know how to use it. And Brother BGS is right. The thing is, understand this. Black immigrants do not have the right to define what our political struggle is. And Fried Plantain, we are not being xenophobic here. I don't even think that word, you're using it in a way that it means. I don't think it means what you think it means. You can miss us with the shame and bullshit. How the fuck in the United Snakes of America that black folk who have traditionally been the entree point for everybody regardless of ethnicity who is an immigrant to come here and do what the fuck they do, how in the hell have we been xenophobic? If anything, I would argue black people have been xenophilic. So what? Fried, I don't give a fuck if you were kidnapped and brought here on slave boats. I don't give a fuck if you used to be a slave trader who got caught up in a trick bag and come over here. If your family, your lineage can be traced back to a slave in the United States, you are ADOS. I will not go for the bullshit separation crap. So I'm telling you to your face, you support us, then support us and shut the fuck up with the shaming language and the trying to delineate with your little compositional fallacies and all of that what our platform is. We are not xenophobic. We are not shaming all fucking black immigrants, but I don't have to say that on my broadcast. I'm not going to sit here and go, not all immigrants is like that. Fuck that shit. I'm talking in generalities. If you're too dumb to understand that, I don't fucking want you here. You got bigger problems than Brother Mark Black can fix. Exactly. Don't get distracted. You got people who will claim to be advocates for us, who claim to be on the team, yet every time you hear them talk, they bring up fuckery. They use compositional fallacies. They use all sorts of logical fallacies. Ergo hoc, per prompter hoc, ad hominems. Family, we need to get on board with some real serious shit. It is a fallacy. And what the fuck do you mean I can't speak for everyone? I'm not speaking for everyone. I'm speaking in generalities. You know what? If the shoe don't fit you, don't fucking put it on. Matter of fact, you know what? You don't even have to worry about me speaking for your punk ass, because you gone. Kick rocks. Now, family, let's let the adults have a conversation. Right? Let's, you know what I'm saying? Let's have the adults have a conversation. Sorry about that, y'all. I'm not going to let these motherfuckers get me off track. And to all my mods in the channel, feel free at your discretion, because you are not a mod unless I trust your discretion, to eliminate anybody who is trying to cause dissension using shaming language and other fuckery. We ain't with it. This is our unification. Nobody's gonna hinder this shit. You know what, family? It just so happens that those motherfuckers who was talking that shit about there being bots amongst us was right. They were right. They just weren't right in the way that we all were thinking they were. Because we do have bots amongst us. Welcome to the broadcast, Ralph. You just heard of ADOS for the first time earlier today? Well, trust me, it won't be the last time you hear about us. So stick around. Stick around. Because it's ADOS all day, every day over here with the angry black sheep. Trust me, we'll learn you something. Welcome. Fried plantain, you got a reprieve. I'm not going to boot you. But I am going to ask that unless you have something of substance to add to the conversation, that you fall back, support, and know your place. Stay in your lane. All right? We don't need the shaming tactics. We don't need the shaming language. We don't need the deflections. We don't need you arguing individual cases and shit while claiming to be a supporter. And know this, Fried Plantain 7, I am watching you. At this point, you are a little suspect. But I don't want to squelch anybody's voice here. I want you to share your opinion, okay? But understand, that little other stuff that you was on, that can't work, okay? So as long as you can put in something on the conversation, I want you here, all right? And shout out to CRU. There's no shame, family, in learning, right? Sometimes our discussions are going to be heated, no doubt. This is a very emotional and powerful subject. You feel me? But we have to make sure that we stay on task, right? That we stay on point and we stay on message. And that is ADOS all day, every day, all right? Family, the bots. Peace, Craig. Welcome to the broadcast. The bots that we found this week were these blacks on television. We've been having bots amongst us forever. They just ain't been necessarily on social media, right? They've been these black talking heads on television. Shout out to Rolly Martin. Shout out to Joyanne Reed. You know, bots. I can imagine in conversations with these motherfuckers, they'd be like, oh, so what do you do? Oh, I play a black person on TV. Oh, that's fantastic. How did you get such a gig? Welcome, Winston. You in the right place to learn about it, because we're going to talk about it. Family, we got bots that are out there claiming to be for us, claiming to be us, the American descendants of slaves who are not. And rather than understanding their place, this is not a pejorative, right? But the old saying, get in where you fit in, applies. If you're a black immigrant, your place is to come here and say 2 words to black people. Thank you. Thank you for making a way for us. That's your place. Not to co-opt, to wear us like a cloak, to make your way, your entree, to sidle up next to white supremacy, to whiteism, and then throw us under the motherfucking bus. Right? We've got bots all over the media outlets here in this country. Bots like Issa Rae. Issa Rae isn't a descendant of slaves. Now, whether you like the sister's work or not, cool, right? She's not my cup of tea, but if you like the sister and how she do it, cool. But understand, I don't care how many black girls she play on TV, she's not us. She's wearing our lineage like a cloak. You know, little hooded cape thing that you put on to keep your body covered out in the elements and shit. She's wearing our lineage so that she can make her entree to take places in our society that rightfully belong to us. I'm with you, Miss Denny. If I'm Russian, if the Russians is paying me, where the fuck is my money? Shit. Issa is a pretender, Leo. Facts. And again, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? You want to play us, give us the motherfucking credit. But essentially what you're doing is you're wearing blackface. You're just wearing American blackface. We got bots all over media that they trying to hide from us. Bots like, what's her name? Erivo. What's it, Cynthia Erivo? You know, the bitch who's going to be playing Harriet. Somebody make this make sense to me. How the fuck is Cynthia Erivo going to be playing one of our greatest? Explain this to me. I think I know of maybe one or two African American or American descendant of slaves people that have played Africans of note, right? We had the brother Forrest Whitaker who played Idi Amin, right? And he was dope at it, but you know, right? And I'm not necessarily for that type of shit either. But man, they come here and they take roles from our people. You could not find one American descendant of slave actress who could play one of our greatest icons. You disgusting motherfuckers. Right? Exactly. Who was it that played Martin Luther King? Daniel Oyelowo. A fucking Nigerian. With Lupita Nyong'o playing Coretta Scott King. Oh, thank you, Leo. And Denzel did do Steve Biko. Right? We ain't doing them like that. When we see their icons, their greatest, their best and brightest, we want to see an African play them. Shit. I still to this day fucks with Shaka Zulu, the miniseries, because Henry Selick was killing it as Shaka. It wouldn't be Shaka Zulu if it wasn't him. Oh my God. Zoe Saldana. Zoe Saldana playing Nina Simone. Get the fuck out of here. Oh, well, I could go on and on all day. Chiwetel Ejiofor playing Solomon Northup in 12 Years a Slave. Oh, wasn't Lupita Nyong'o playing Patsy in that too? You couldn't find no American descendants of slaves to play Solomon Northup? Miss us with the bullshit. Because you see, family, a lot of these black immigrants will come here and tell us that we won't work, that we lazy, that we unskilled and untrained, that they've been classically trained in the Queen's Academies for acting and all this stuff. Hey, get the fuck out of here. Y'all so classically trained, you can't get hired for jobs in the UK where you done took your Nigerian ass, but you come over here and take food out of my people's mouth, and we supposed to co-sign you? Shit. Meanwhile, we have brothers that do movies. Right? CRU, you buck wild. CRU, you my nigga. You know that. I don't give a fuck what nobody say about you, CRU. Shit. Meanwhile, we have brothers like Nate Parker do a movie about one of our greatest icons, Nat Turner. And y'all sat there and allowed his whole fucking shit to be torpedoed over some bullshit accusations that he was found innocent of. You destroyed this man's opportunity to tell one of our greatest stories never told because he's married to a white bitch. Y'all ought to be ashamed of yourselves. You'll let these motherfucking immigrants come from over here, come from other places and steal the food off of your black actors and actresses' plate and cut down your own. That day's over though, family. That day's over. With the advent and the rise of the American descendant of slaves movement, that day is over with. Because one of the first questions that we asking both black people, white people, Latino people, or whoever is two words. Who you? Who you? We want to know where the fuck you from. We want to know what your lineage and your background is. We want to know what your platform, your policies, what you've espoused in the past, what you held dear. We asking questions of every motherfucking body. Because see, what a lot of these fools are failing to understand is this. By the way, shout out Shamar, welcome to the broadcast. Is that they think that we're just doing this to the black candidates for president. Hell no. We asking questions of them all. And trust me when I tell you, I ain't married to nobody's color, nobody's ethnicity, nobody's face. I don't give a fuck who it is. If Marianne Williamson gets out there and she's willing to put up a comprehensive reparations program on the motherfucking table, that motherfucker can get my vote. See, y'all got the game fucked up because y'all sitting here trying to shade us saying we're aligning with white supremacists and so on and so forth. More fool you. We know more. We've forgotten more about what white supremacy is than most of you motherfuckers know. No, what we are doing, though, is we're being politically mature and we're saying that we don't give a fuck who it is that is willing to have full-throated advocacy and put their political capital behind an agenda that supports us, that speaks for us, that advocates for us. We will give them our votes. And if no one is willing to do that, then we will not give any votes to anyone. CJ, tell these motherfuckers, did y'all know that Dr. Darity had a conversation with Marianne Williamson and she expressed that she was open to negotiating the amount? Sure, we shaded her because the amount she came out with was quite frankly ridiculous. $100 billion over 10 years is the equivalent of her pulling a baby powder. Look, I got a $25 money order that you bitches can split. It was disrespectful, but I don't think she meant the disrespect. I believe that her heart might be in the right motherfucking place. So now that she's talking to our scholars, our economists, right? Our learned ones who can school her on the realities of what the cost should be. And she's willing to put the she's willing to use the R word, reparations. Dun, dun, dun. She's ready to put that shit up on the table. She can get all of these votes. We are being politically mature and savvy, and we are saying to every politician, not just your little pet Negro or half Negro or wannabe Negro that you trotting out, trying to make Barack Obama 2.0. We asking these questions of everybody. Yes, we are asking these questions of motherfuckers like Bernie Sanders, but we don't have to ask Bernie, do we? Because how many of us can forget that interview where he was asked directly if he supports reparations for the descendants of slaves in America, and he said, no, I don't think it's realistic and it's divisive. Oh, yeah? Glad you told us, Bernie. We ain't feeling the burn no more, bitch. Great idea, Fried. We got some great ideas, right? No federal taxes. Fuck no federal taxes. No taxes, period. A tax moratorium for the next 150 years for all descendants of slaves. And free education pre-K through postdoc. That's a good start. There's a whole host of ideas that should be on the table. We are looking at everybody. We are looking at everybody. Let me repeat that to you motherfucking black immigrant sheepdogs, gatekeepers, boule, bootlicks, and so on. We are not just putting the eyeballs on your pet politician. We're shining sunshine on all of you motherfuckers. And we're asking two questions. Who you and what you bringing to the table? You don't have an answer for that? Or you have an answer that is deleterious or on some fuckboy shit like, well, I think that the black agenda should be an American agenda. Miss us with that shit. Oh, well, you know, as an African American, fuck us, fuck you, fuck you. Family, in this day of our unification, we are forcing these motherfuckers to tell on themselves. We are forcing them to out themselves. Miss Denny said, no more trickle-down bullshit. My dear beloved American descendant of slaves family, can I ask you a question? Are you or are you not tired of everybody above you taking a motherfucking piss and telling you it's raining on you? Aren't you tired of a face full of piss yellow rain? I know I am. I know I am. We don't have to change anything about the way we do or experience or live our blackness. The only thing we have to do, family, to gain the one thing our people have always deserved in this country is to just simply grab each other's hands and say, my dear brother, sister, descendant of slaves, I'm with you and you with me. That's all we gotta do. That's all we gotta do. By the way, family, before I get too far off into this broadcast, I need to mention, if you are not following Sister Yvette Carnell, whether you like her or not, follow her, and Antonio Moore on Twitter, you failing. Because they just announced the other day that October 4th and 5th of 2019 of this year, Friday and Saturday, so Friday, October 4th, and Saturday, October 5th, at Simmons College in Louisville, Kentucky, we are holding the first annual American Descendants of Slaves Conference. Tickets are free. So you got no motherfucking excuse not to be there and mingle with and talk to and get to know and to learn with your brothers and sisters. Shamar said the government is going to be shut down again next time. It'll be a lot longer. More power will be placed in the hands of the states. That is when we take control of our ancestral lands. That's a good ass idea. But CJ spitting that real talk today in the chat because he said it. You can't claim what the fuck you don't ask for. They telling us not to delineate ourselves as a distinct tribe and advocate for policies. Thank you, CRU. I appreciate it, brother. Thank you for the support, as always. Family, if you got it, make sure you hit the link and show your boys some loves. Throw me a tip. I'm taking your spare coins, and I ain't got no shame about it. You can support other platforms, support your interests. Right? Because they trying to tell us that we are not supposed to be We're not supposed to be advocating for our interests. So let me get this straight. We're supposed to keep our mouths shut about what it is that we need and what we've earned and what we deserve all throughout the history of America. And then we're supposed to assume that whoever gets in the office will have enough foresight and clarity and wherewithal to see what we need and just magically advocate for it. Is that how the game go? Because funny enough, I didn't see, the LGBTQIA plus community do that. No, them motherfuckers was out marching in the street, getting in their politicians' face, occupying their motherfucking offices, getting on media platforms and constantly putting these motherfuckers' feet to the fire. I didn't see the Latinos shutting the fuck up and hiding in their respective corners when they was advocating for DACA and the suspension of our laws to allow for them to commit illegal acts of immigration. The fuck is wrong with you? Everybody's supposed to be full-throated support, full-throated advocacy for what it is that they need and want from this government to get their share of the pie that I'm fucking paying for. But I'm supposed to sit over here, keep silent, rocking back and forth, singing my little ditties and my old Negro spirituals while knitting a sock. Swing low, sweet chariot. The fuck? Miss us with that shit. Unreasonable Man said, I'm willing to sit down with any presidential candidate that's willing to discuss, then move forward with the truth and reconciliation for reparations. Okay, Unreasonable, I have my own personal opinion about that. If you don't mind me sharing it, hit one if you'd like for me to elaborate a little bit more on that post that Unreasonable mentioned just then. It's not nothing bad, Unreasonable. I just have an opinion that I would like to share, but I'll only share it if y'all want to hear it. So pop a one in the chat if you want to hear it, family. Well, I got one so far. Thank you, Miss Denny. Appreciate it. Brother Cease. All right. Thank you, Winston. Thank you. Welcome to the broadcast, Zay. Glad to have you. If you haven't subbed, make sure you stay a while. All right? And you too, Shamar. Okay. So here's my opinion. Unreasonable, I'm definitely with the idea of them having a conference or a committee to study the policy of reparations. But I am firmly and fully against a Truth and Reconciliation Commission. Firmly and fully. And I'll explain to you why. How fucking traumatizing is it for us to have to continue to see black body after black body spread all over media, right? The death of our little brother Trayvon, the death of our little brother Tamir, the death of our sister Corinne Gaines, the death of Sandra Bland, and so on and so forth. How traumatic is that for us? Tell the truth, right? We can talk about mental health here, family. This is the home of the angry black sheep, the outcast. We talk about the topics don't nobody want to talk about. So this is a mental health piece for a second. It's a diversion, but it's important. How traumatizing is that to keep seeing that? To see our brothers and sisters' bodies laying in the street for hours. To see the blood running down their shirts or the blood pooling on the ground as their body cools. How traumatic is that to see that? I'm a soldier, U.S. Army veteran, 31 Delta, Persian Gulf. Shout out to 129 SIG Battalion, 30th MI Brigade, Fort Lewis. I'm not afraid of blood. I'm not afraid of pulling the trigger if I got to. But I also am a human being with a heart. And that shit is traumatizing. When I saw Philando on video, bleeding out, taking his last breath in front of my eyes, I'm just keeping it a buck. I ain't got no shame about mine. All right? That shit hurts. Now imagine if these sick, ill-minded motherfuckers with immunity get months and months and months and months of airtime on C-SPAN, PBS, telling ill-ass stories of shit they've done to us. Chemicals they put in our food and the products that we use. Programs that they've advocated for that could have meant the demise of millions of us. Shit that they've actually done, bodies that they've buried. I'm with the truth. Don't get me wrong. We should know the truth of the matters. But in point of fact, I don't think reliving this constant trauma, we know the fuckery that they've done to us. Winston, feeling detached when that happens, it's called desensitization, and it's a psychological defense mechanism. It's normal. It's not healthy, but it's normal. When you've experienced so much trauma that a portion of you dissociates, you kind of shard off, and it's almost like you're watching a movie of it happen. It's called dissociation. And it's not healthy, but it is normal. And you definitely want to seek some help if you're feeling like that often. If you need resources or need some assistance or whatever, make sure that you join my Discord. I will definitely work with you to see to it that you get the help you need to help with that. It's okay. And I'm glad you shared it. Family, Sister Yvette says we need lineage therapy, and I think she's right as a motherfucker. It's right. We need lineage therapy. We ain't such a bad people, but god damn it, we've been through the crucible. Every day we go through the crucible. Shit, it's crazy making being an American descendant of slaves in this motherfucker. Crazy making. Unreasonable, I get the argument. I really do. And like I said, I don't see it. I mean, what's a trial? First of all, we have enough records. Because one thing you got to give America credit for, they were a lot like Germany in this matter. When they had a trial at the Nuremberg trial, they didn't even really need to have a motherfucking trial because the Nazis kept such good records that all they was able to do is just pull up the documentation and say, here's the train schedules of the 20,000 motherfuckers whose bodies we found over here in this ditch at Majdanek. Like, they didn't even need a trial. We don't need a trial. We've got enough historical documentation that we can make that documentation public record and encourage people to study it. I'm all for that. But at this point, America has been tried already. The special raconteur of the United Nations came here to the United States recently, a while back, and did a travel across the United States and found that the American descendants of slaves in this country are living in conditions that can only be described as third world, and actually went back to the UN and they passed a resolution that said that the only thing that would make right the conditions under which we live would be a comprehensive reparations program. They have already been tried and found wanting. Dr. Joy DeGruy talks about this post-traumatic slavery disorder, family. We got PTSD like a motherfucker. We need some mental health. And I don't think that constantly reliving and seeing pictures over and over of mass lynchings, of bodies being mutilated and burnt, of brothers and sisters getting shot and killed, I don't think that's healthy. Thank you, Unreasonable, man. I appreciate you breaking bread. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for that. That's all I'm saying, Unreasonable. I get where you're coming from. There's definitely enough evidence. There's definitely enough evidence to convict these motherfuckers. But a trial? Nah, ain't no need for it. Ain't no need for it. Brothers, I want to talk to you for a second, if I may. Because there was a thing that happened this week that directly affects you. Remember I told you 2019 was going to be the year of revelation, of exposure, of reality? That Simone Sanders character, wasn't she funny as fuck? Trying to come at Uncle Luke, saying, why are black men always offering their unsolicited opinions about Kamala Harris? Motherfuckers are telling, these flightless birds are telling on theyself like a motherfucker. Black men, you are not allowed to have a political opinion unless this bitch asks for it. I'm not making it up, family. I'm not making it up. Research it for yourself. Not only was Uncle Luke's opinion, not worth shit, but black men's unsolicited political and, I'm assuming otherwise, opinions are not asked for. We don't need your fucking opinion. I told you. This is the year of reality. All you brothers out here that have been denying the reality of the dynamic that exists between us and the black female in general, you about to have the motherfucking wool pulled from over your eyes. You about to get your jaws pulled open. And a heavy ass dose of red pills is about to be shoved down your motherfucking throat. This Mack truck built looking bitch got the nerve to tell you that your opinion, unsolicited, don't matter. Shout out to reality, CRU. I'm with it. I love reality. Y'all better fall in love with reality in 2019 unless you want to be dashed up against the rocks. Brothers, right? Real spill? I hear you. Brothers, let me talk to you for a second. I did a Morning Joe broadcast where I talked to you directly about toxic femininity, but not the toxic femininity that many women display. No, I'm talking about the toxic femininity you've been infected with, that I have been infected with. You see, toxic femininity, brothers, is bad enough when we see it come from women. But that shit becomes deadly when it comes from you. It is deadly when it comes from you. The shaming tactics and shaming language, right? The manipulation, right? The fomenting of drama, running back and forth, gossip mongering and beef starting and shit starting like a female, like somebody who's weak. The idea that you brothers are independent. You sound like females. I am independent. I make my own money. And don't tell me how to spend. The fuck? Brothers, I love you, but I gots to call you out. Our acculturation has not served us in good stead. And we have been fortunate to have brothers like the elder brother BGS, brothers like Angry Man, shout out to Angry Man, brothers in the black manosphere who have gone through the crucible, who have broke through the programming. Thank you, Miss Denny. Appreciate the love, and I appreciate you as always. Who have gone through the crucible, who have done the hard work, brothers like myself, who have gone through the fuckery and have came out on the other side, who are working to show you a path, a way to your liberation, to your salvation. But it is up to you to break through too. You have to do the work, and you have to be willing to unify with your brother. Your brother Mark Black, who loves you, black man, should not have to beg you for a goddamn thing. And you should not have to feel like that you got to beg me for anything. Do you understand me? When you need support for your efforts, there should be no greater wind beneath your wings than me. When I need support for my efforts, there should be no greater wind beneath my wings than you. We have been taught that our lives are of no value unless we serve as tools, as craftsman sets for everybody. We have been acculturated that we are to be in competition with every other black man out there rather than cooperating with him. But you know, and I know, black man, that there is nothing that these black hands have touched in America that we didn't build together. Nothing. It was you and I together out there in them fields, hoeing those rows, planting that cotton, herding those oxen, working the cotton gin. It was you and I together laying on those wooden slats in our black and whites with the chain around our legs, grabbing our pickaxes at 3 a.m. and not coming into that motherfucker until 11 p.m., cooking the same piece of bacon and splitting it. It was you and I who walked together hand in hand to make sure that our brother made it home so that the Klan didn't snatch one of us and had a picnic. We ain't never done nothing where it wasn't you and me together. You and me together. But you let our gynocratic rulers, you know, the queens and shit, raise you to believe that you have to be independent like they independent. Ain't that a bitch? Because she didn't tell you the truth of the matter. She didn't tell you that she truly isn't independent, that she has supports. She has support from the government. See, because Simone was able to say that fuckery that she was able to say because she knows that all she has to do is call on some white zaddy somewhere and that motherfucker's gonna fight on her behalf. She got protection. She a protected class. So she can tell you your opinion don't mean shit. And you can get mad about it. But what's gonna happen to her? Nothing. This is why your girl could get mad at you and call the motherfucking police on you. You ain't lifted a finger or even raised your voice, but your ass is going to jail. Shout out to Miss Denny, the Black Honey Badger. Hit them with that link, Miss Denny. Let them come and support your blog. She didn't tell you, black man, black boy, that she's not independent, that she is a dependent. Because that's not interdependency. White folks don't need black women, but they like having them on the team. So she's a dependent of theirs, a ward, if you will. There is nothing, black man, that you did on your own. Nothing. And there will never be anything that you will accomplish solely by your own efforts. But you've been sold a bill of goods, and I get it. Hard to overcome that acculturation. But I'm telling you, this is the day. This is the day of our unification, black men. This is the day where we unify with all of our brothers, gay or straight, religious or not religious, rich or poor. This is when we reach out the hand to our brother and say, brother, I got you. And you got me. This unification that I'm talking about, that we're embarking on, that's got everyone shaking in their motherfucking boots, will be at its most powerful and have its most effect the day we brothers stop slitting each other's throats and reach out to each other, seeing the value in my reflection of me, that is you, brother CRU, brother Real Spill, brother Leo, right? You are my brothers. I am you and you are me. Brother Winston, brother Dave, brother Cease. I am you and you are me. Your interest, brother, is my interest. Real Spill, go ahead. Go ahead and be stupid and leave your brother behind and see what happens. I don't care if you like the fact that he's gay. He's still your brother. He needs you and you need him. Peace to JBA. Welcome to the broadcast. Look, there's a lot of ways that we do blackness that I don't fucking like. But your life is my life. Black man, let me introduce you to a concept that you may be unfamiliar with. No shade. I want to tell you about symbiosis. Symbiosis. Symbiosis is a combination of three Greek words. Sim, coming from sin, which means the same. Bio, meaning life. And sis, meaning systems. Symbiosis is the concept that I can't live without you living with me. There are things about you that I need. Thank you, Eugene. I love you too, brother. There are things from you, brother, that I need to live my life. And there are things that you need from me to live your life. symbiosis, mutual dependence, interdependence. Do you understand? I'm not saying you got to like everything about your brother. Some of you brothers are working stiffs who don't like the roughnecks, you know, the Pookies and the Ray Rays, right? Some of you are hood niggas who look at square bears like they ain't shit. Some of you are upper crust, then had a few opportunities, been to college and education, and so on and so forth. Some of you didn't even finish high school. Would you believe, those of you who watch me, that I never graduated from high school? I dropped out in the 10th grade. I'm what you call a low class brother. I was raised in the projects. Shout out to Riverview. I grew up in a house that had more rats and roaches in it than people. I remember my mother not eating for 7, 8 days at the end of the month because the benefits that she was getting was not enough to stretch, but she made sure we ate. I've been reading since I was 2. You got brothers and sisters in those communities who are geniuses. I know. I am one. Took me years to just admit it. But I had my IQ tested when I was 5 years old. I have an IQ of 160. I've been a member of Mensa. And I never graduated high school. Sure, have I done dumb shit? Yeah, I've done dumb shit. I got involved in gang banging. Roll with the Bloods. I've done a lot of shit I ain't proud of. But you know what though? I'm still here. See this gray right here? You hear these words that are coming out of my mouth, driven by this brain computer? I would like to think that that gives me some degree of right to speak. So let me share with you this one thing. We do not and will not always be on the same page in everything. There's as many ways to do blackness as there are black people. I have my own personal views and issues with homosexuality. It's not for me. I'm straight, right? I prefer women. But I got brothers out there who I cannot deny are willing to fight and die for me, who are same gender loving, gay, straight, you know, what gay, whatever you want to call them, right? And real spill, you know what? Cool. I hear you. So does that mean that because I'm issuing a call to all brothers that you can't ride? That's fine. That's your option. It's your choice. You are free. But I will not waver on my stance that we need every goddamn brother, every single one, every single one. I'm not saying that we all got to be out there. Matter of fact, I'm not even talking about sexuality. That y'all using that as a distraction. I don't care. I don't care who they fucking. I care who they fight for. If they willing to put their lineage, their heritage above their sexuality, then what the fuck I look like gatekeeping them? Y'all sounding real hella immature right now. Who they fucking is none of your goddamn business. As long as they ain't making that the plank of how we do things, then why the fuck do you care? That's just facts. Y'all's bullshit standards about who can be on the team and who cannot. Look, if they uphold lineage, that's all I give a fuck about. I don't give a fuck about your religion. I don't care if you have one or not. I don't care who you fucking or not. I don't care. You could be fucking another dude. You could be fucking a white bitch. I don't care. You could be fucking a goddamn tree knot for all I give a fuck. Or not fucking at all. What the hell does that got to do with any goddamn thing? Ain't nobody out here talking about, oh, it's ADOS, but just for us. No. For the first time, we are taking all of that bullshit and putting it to the side and representing our lineage and fighting for our due. And I'm going to tell you something. I don't give a fuck who and what they doing. I can't police everybody's life of doing the way they do blackness. I can't police that shit. And I'm not going to. If they can put our lineage, if they can put our justice claim in front of everything else, then whatever the fuck else they doing, I don't care. So if that's not something you can hold to, then perhaps maybe I'm not the brother that you want to listen to, because I am calling for you to reach out to every single brother that you can get your fucking hands on. If you got a problem with that, that's your problem, not my problem, not their problem, yours. It's as simple as that. I am tired of motherfuckers dick police and pussy police and this, that, and the third. Stop with that shit. Last time I checked, there wasn't not a near motherfucker who came up to us before they shot and killed us in the street and handed us a questionnaire asking our political affiliation, asking us who we was fucking, asking us what God we believe in. Christians are getting murdered by pigs in the streets. Gay people getting their motherfucking benefits took. What the fuck? Stop the madness. Lineage matters. That's all I'm on at this point. Lineage first. Black first. I don't give a fuck about anything else. Period. Anything else. Real. Nobody's saying that they got more rights than you, bruh. Matter of fact, nobody even cares. Like, literally, nobody cares. I'll put it like this. I don't care. If you come in here and you're listening to Black Outcast Media Broadcasting, I am here to tell you that I don't care who you're fucking. I will never ask the question. It does not interest me. I don't give a fuck. Your sexuality or the lack thereof does not give you any more rights or make you any better than any other black person, any other descendant of slaves. So real, nobody's saying that, bruh. I'm not mad. I'm telling you, I'm being emphatic with you, bruh, that if you're going to ride with us, which we would love to have you ride, understand that people's sexuality is off limits. It ain't got nothing to do with you. Ain't nobody putting that in the forefront. You have not once heard me say anything about what and who I'm fucking, who I'm dating, who I'm married to, whatever the case may be. That's my business. It don't got nothing to do with my advocacy for our people. It's straight up. If I'm out here fighting for us, that's it. I'm fighting for American descendants of slaves. Who cares who I'm fucking or what I'm fucking or not fucking? How I'm living, that ain't none of your business. Now, if we ever become close, right, real, like we become peoples, and I let you into my sphere, and you interested in how I'm living or whatever the case may be, we can have that discussion. Otherwise, keep that shit out, like scooch that shit to the side. That's all I'm saying, bruh. I ain't mad at you. Thank you, brother, for the correction. Got to stay on topic. The topic is brothers need to unify, and it's as simple as that. Period. Period. Our unity is our strength. Our unity is our strength. Always has been, always will be. Always. That's without fail. The elder, Brother BGS, tells us all the time, our power is through collective action. Each one of us is a force multiplier. I respect you too, brother, 100%, and I love you too, man. Our unity, our unit cohesiveness, right? Let's take it to some military shit for you brothers, right? Our unit cohesiveness determines our effectiveness on the battleground. When we are given a mission, when we are given a goal to attain, our job is to ensure that the mission is completed. And to do that, everybody needs to play their role. Some of us are stronger in speaking. Some of us are stronger in writing. Some of us have resources, right, and can contribute dough and resources. Some of us ain't got nothing but time, and that's valuable too, right? So as the unit adheres to each other, as we become more cohesive, we become force multipliers for each other. Your efforts become greater with the addition of my efforts backing your efforts. That's what they're afraid of. These gatekeepers, these bootlicks, right? The people that stand to lose their power through the rise of the American descendants of slaves. They're most afraid of our unity. The fact that they can't use these same old tricks to get us infighting and beefing with each other. The fact that our tie, the thing that makes us us, is based on our lineage, our heritage. The fact that our ancestors' bones and blood is buried in this soil. That's what's got them shook. Because every other thing that we've tried to organize around in this country is too strict in a way. This is something that all you have to do is be a descendant of slaves, black and breathing, to get behind. It's not difficult at all. It's not difficult at all. It's the one damn thing that gives us a real shot at pushing forward our agendas. A real shot. And it's got people shook, family. It's got them shook. It's got them shook. This is why you have those bots, those blacks on TV who are coming out of the woodwork trying to attack you. They're not attacking your ideas. They can't. They can't. Anybody who is a student of history, a student of politics, a student of economics knows that ADOS arguments about how we've gotten to where we are and what is needed to make us whole again are unassailable. At this particular point, we're not even arguing about the rightness or wrongness of our position. At this point, the only thing motherfuckers can come at us with is the details. Okay, it's a fact. Reparations, a comprehensive reparations program is what's going to make you whole. At this point, we're just arguing numbers. We're arguing distribution. But the underlying argument itself is unassailable, and they know it. They know it. This, family, is a great goddamn time to be black in this motherfucker. It's a great goddamn time to be an American descendant of slaves. A great time. We are reaching out hands all over this land. From east to west, from north to south, from highfalutin sedity niggas to gutter niggas. And we're all lifting up the same banner. Hashtag ADOS. It's a good damn time to be alive. It's a good damn time for you to get on the train. It's a good damn time for you to get on the train and join with us. This is what ADOS is about. It's about understanding ourselves as a distinct and unique lineage and heritage in this country, as a distinct people, set aside based off of our historic, our history, our lineage, our heritage. And it's about full-throated, full-bore, unapologetic, unified advocacy for every and any program, policy, institution, and circumstance that will change our condition, that will make us whole, that will remediate us, that will repair us. Lineage matters. And we're going to tell everybody, and we're going to do more than tell you. We are going to show you that our lineage matters. Because when you see me, it ain't just me. It's my people behind me. It's the weight of 400 years of my ancestors coming with me. And we are coming. We are coming. Make no mistake about it. We coming. And we will not rest until we get our due. Until we get our due. My ancestors' blood cries out from the ground for justice. Just like Abel's blood cried out to Yahweh when Cain slew him. Right? My ancestors' blood cries out from the ground for justice. We will have it. They'll either have to wipe us all out, or they'll have to give us justice. Or we will take it. But we will have it. This is the best damned time to be alive and be a descendant of slaves. Y'all need to shout yourselves out. Shit, Miss Denny Facts. I think at this point, white folks might actually be getting tired of all this shit. They can motherfucking take a sigh of relief. Let's go ahead and get justice done for black people. So when you see me, you don't have to be scared of me no more. You can breathe a little bit, white man. I might actually look at you, smile, and mean it. You don't have to be sitting there wondering if I'm plotting against you in the lunchroom. Let's go ahead and just knock this justice thing on out, so that we can all be Americans and keep it pushing. Shit, this justice claim ain't just for us. It's a healing for them too. Let's go ahead and get this done. Let's knock this on out the way so we can move past the fuckery. Tell him, Angie. Shit. Go ahead, CRU. I might as well open it up. Go ahead, brother, speak.
Hey, Mark. I just came here to co-sign Jenny. It's my Saturday, so you know how I be. But no, I just wanted to co-sign that because I said the same thing. Once we get justice, we are like divine benevolent rulers, and when we get in charge, we do everything very nice to everybody. Like, they don't have any problems with us at all. Like, we make everything the best for everybody.
You know what? That's another thing they're afraid of too, right? Haven't you noticed recently Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez tried to make reparations about just the shit that happened during the New Deal era, where Latinos was starting to kind of be here in numbers. You know, see, family, this is how you know they're taking us serious, right? Because you got people who are doing one of two things. They're either trying to discredit our movement, right? Or they're trying to attach themselves to it. That's how you know we're having an effect. That's how you know that we're changing the narrative. Welcome to the chat, CRU, to the live talk part. You know what I'm saying? Speak your speech, brother.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Shit, living the dream. How about you?
CC, salute, hoorah.
Hoorah, what's going on? CRU? No, I'm just listening to your thing before I go to work tonight. But you hit on a lot of things, and me and one of my boys in Cali were talking about this. You know, about the whole the ADOS thing, and how some people already are trying to hijack that and turn to something that is not, to try and pervert it, if you will, like they did with everything else.
Right.
And the thing is, as you said, doesn't matter what you do. I don't separate socio. We don't have the numbers to separate. I don't care who you're fucking. I don't care what you're doing. James Baldwin was gay. I think somebody said W.E. Du Bois. I'm not sure about that but they were black first.
Facts.
I know about. Okay. No matter who you're sleeping with.
Exactly. Who you fucking, I don't care. Ain't none of my business. Can you?
Doesn't matter.
Go ahead,
even Umar, right? Even Umar, right? What do you want to call his school? Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey, right? And he's talking about Frederick Douglass at the end of his life. Yeah, he married a white girl, right? He's still naming his school after him because of the shit he did in his life. You feel me? Like, you don't just throw the baby out with the bathwater. All of us got shit that's with us. And I'm not saying that particularly might be that shit. You know what I mean? Because shit, let me get a Marcy X. I'm cool. You know what I mean? If she going harder than half of these coon-ass motherfuckers out here, I don't care. Shit, if that white girl's going hard and getting niggas out of jail and, you know what I mean? Shit, I'm with it.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Facts.
Yeah, look how Rachel Dolezal.
Thank you. You know what I'm saying? Look, I think it's ironic as hell. And I'm going to have to make this a topic for another broadcast, but I think it's ironic as hell that in her coming out, she's actually experiencing more of what it's like to be black in this motherfucker than she ever did.
I'll be right back.
Oh yeah, you right, Mark. You are exactly right. Like she should have just never said something. Like Liam Neeson, when he said, "Oh, I was going after that black dude," and this, that, he should have never said nothing, and nobody would have bothered him. Just don't, you know what I mean? If you kill somebody back in '88, don't mention it. Don't mention.
But here's the thing, though, right? Okay, so now that I've kind of opened it up, and everybody who came to hear me speak on the day of our unification, I want you to understand one thing before I just kind of open the floor and let us talk about whatever. But understand this. They see us. They are afraid. You are having an effect. You are changing the narrative. Continue to do the work. Learn. Get with your brothers and sisters. Unify. Organize. Be at the conference in October. Let's start showing these people better than we can tell them. So if you want to stick around while the floor is open, you please feel free to do so. Otherwise, thank you for your love and your support. And we're going to go ahead and just open it up. Go ahead, CRU.
Well, Mark, you got me to where I'm scared to drop videos because Mark be snapping every, you know what I mean? I'm 2 hours ahead of you, right? So if I drop my morning video, I'm going to get shown up by Mark because Mark going to snap on.
Nah, brother. You know one thing I'm starting to learn is that we all do our own thing differently. The brother BGS is an analyst like no other, right? You want to talk about being able to take disparate pieces of information and synthesize it into something that the people can chew on. The elder brother does it like no other. Angry Man talks about the topics that really hit our brothers deep. You know what I'm saying? Talk about relationships, issues with child support enforcement, just the general gynocentric tone of our culture, right?
All right.
Kendra, I'm sorry, go ahead, brother.
No. I'm sorry. The mailman came and I left.
No,
So go ahead.
You good. I was just simply saying that each of us that are a part of Black YouTube, we do things on a different path, but we do it in our own way, right? We all have our audiences, but we all share the same path, the same goal, which is the uplift, the rise of our people. And that I think is a beautiful thing, the amount of diversity that's there. So, CR, you never feel like that I'm going to steal your thunder. I ain't going to lie, I fall prey to that sometimes too. But, you know, I'm going to say things on a different
Hey, what I
way.
told you, what I tell you earlier, Mark, you wanna see when you're gonna go live because of this, that, right? You don't wanna, like, nobody, like, I'm gonna tell you, like, nobody cares, right? And I'm gonna say it blunt like that, but nobody cares because we're all the same team. We're all this, that. But I might not go see what Kendra's talking about, right? Because I'm not a woman. Kendra is speaking for what the women need to say. I might go to Angry Man channel because I need to hear what Angry Man needs to say. But I come to your channel because, hey, I need to see what Mark finna say. Guess what? I know what Angry Man finna say. You know what I mean? Kind of. You know what I mean? But it's like sometimes I'll be on a panel and I'll be like, nah, I'm not finna jump on, but let Tony Garrison jump on. Let Mark jump on. Let BGS jump on. Because why? Because if one of y'all jump on, I don't need to jump on because y'all going to say the same thing I was finna say.
Go ahead, brother.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Well, I think, I'll look at it like this. All right, you go to a doctor, right? You go to your primary care provider. He'll say, okay, I can't take care of this, but I'll send you to a specialist for your hands or for your sciatic nerves or for a radiologist, okay? And I see it, and that's how I look at it as YouTube. Like each one is a specialist in their own right.
Exactly.
You know,
exactly.
Angry Man.
And I look at Angry Man as the primary care provider.
Well, yes,
and
but
he'll write
from
you a prescription to, do you need some man talk? Here go BGS. Do you need some this talk? There goes Cerulean. Do you need your girl to learn something? Or do you need to learn something about women? Here goes Kendra. Here goes Shaw. Here goes BGS for women. Shit like that. You need some science? Here comes Nicole Ali. Here, you know.
Yeah, I mean, that's
now
what
cease and CRU.
Yeah.
But isn't that just what I was talking about? Symbiosis.
Yes.
Their lives,
Well,
how they do things is necessary so that I can do the way I do things. We are able to use our efforts as a force multiplier to enhance our people all together as a whole, but we couldn't do it the same without each other. We are symbiotic. We feed upon each other. We nurture each other. And this way we're able to grow everybody all at once.
most definitely. Like, yeah, exactly. I know we all just said the same thing in different ways, but yes, you're exactly right.
Exactly.
And you know what? And I like you because, you know, you're more about togetherness. Well, you guys all are. But then you got some people that come in and try to disrupt that flow because they're making it about themselves, you know. And it's like, it's not about you. It's about the collective as a whole. And granted, we're not hive-minded because if we were hive-minded, we wouldn't be having disagreements.
Facts.
But that what makes us beautiful, you know. Our differences, because if you're all the same, we can't learn nothing from each other. If we're all exactly the same, plus it would be boring.
Absolutely.
In my mind, it would be.
Let me tell you something. Look, I'm sorry. Go ahead, CRU. I've talked enough. You go ahead and chop, brother.
No, I was just gonna say to Cece, look, see, when we go any place, dog, and they see these shields, they already made up their mind about it. You know what I mean? Oh, you're over there with them, and then that means with them. That means you're with them over there. You feel me? And then they don't want to hear none of what we want to say. Like, they'll catch one or two of us. You know what I mean? A few of us said, okay, yeah, y'all can be here, and y'all can be here. But
well, here's the thing.
like
That's
when they
true.
see the shield, we can't say shit because they don't want to hear shit.
If they're gonna be that close-minded, I say fuck them. Okay, I don't care who you are. I mean, if let's say you're from the one of the Fightless Birds channel, right? In my mind, you all your preconceived notion, okay? But even a broken clock is right twice a day.
Facts.
Okay. I will give you the opportunity. I will listen to you. I will hear you, but I don't have to listen to you. All right. But I will try to go in with the open mind because we're already prejudged enough. You know, you're already judged enough. But if you have a record of just spitting out venom and ignorance, I don't want to hear it. Okay, fine. But if I never met you before, I don't care what your reputation may be, I will be the judge of it myself personally. That's why I would jump on other people's channels, like you posted something from Renaissance Woman. I try not to put other people's name. Talk about other people like that.
I was about to mention something.
After about 40, for the first 15 minutes, I'm like, shit, it's 11 o'clock in the morning. I want some scotch. Time to turn this off. I was like,
no, but
man.
Like that's what I was talking about earlier, right?
Yeah.
Like we was in the Discord, whatever. You know, why you bringing their problems over here? And I'm like, no, I was watching it because Obsidian was on it, right? It was Obsidian, it was Super Triz on there, and I'm like, okay, let's see what they're talking about. That's what I'm thinking.
But here's the thing, CRU. Here's the thing, CRU. It's this, when they do go over there, let's say they go on a woman-dominated spaces that always talk about the same thing. I told you, after the first 15 minutes, my ears started bleeding, literally. I'm like, you know what? This happens every time. When you do the same thing over and over again, that is the definition of insanity. There's no use of talking to you're better off talking to a brick wall. Because no matter what you say, they'll double down on it, they'll deflect like Wonder Woman, whatever. So I don't bother dealing with that because
that's what they do. They'll even get down with you today and say, okay, I understand it. Because now we've dominated. You know what I mean? Here is the logic. Here's 1 + 1 = 2 plus, you know what I mean? And not to get to RBR, but 2 + 2 does equal 7 in binary sometimes. But no, they'll understand it right there, and then the next day they'll do some stupid shit.
Well, here's the thing, because they have to pander. If you have an audience, it's like, okay, for instance, talking to Mark, talking to Angry Man, talking to Cerulean, if you don't mind, brother, Mark. Think of it as you getting your vegetables, your fruits, and your grains, and all that good stuff, right? Stuff that's good for you, okay? Every once in a while, it's good to have that key lime cheesecake or whatever,
Facts.
But we have it too much. You start developing little habits like obesity, and obesity comes with all types of diseases like diabetes and such like that. And not only can you get it physically, but you can also get the disease mentally.
Exactly.
Okay. If that makes any sense.
No, that makes perfect sense, brother. As a matter of fact,
you might buy that roll of ground beef. I'm sorry,
no,
Mark.
Ahead,
I'll let you go after this,
brother. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and pop the link to the Discord in there. I want everybody who feels like that they got something to say. This is your time. It's your floor. Get in here and get in where you fit in.
Yeah, but no, see, he was saying the right thing, right? Like, man, just because you bought that big ass tub of ice cream from Walmart don't mean you need to eat ice cream every night.
And like I said, when I saw that chat and channel, and I'm like, these guys are repeating themselves. So I did ask the channel to a particular person that's been popular for the past couple of weeks for various reasons, for obvious reasons. What is the opposite of a dusty whatever? We all know that story. So somebody was like,
that's
well,
a question that's been asked for months and it's never been.
It wasn't women attacking me. It was the guys that was in there attacking me. And I'm like, well, and they didn't even answer my question. They talked about the other guy. And I'm like, well, then basically by that definition, anybody who doesn't agree with these people on this panel, now mind you, Super Triz and the other guy was already gone. And there's someone else up there.
But see, that's how they did. They waited for them to get going, and then they try to throw all of everything we were talking about under the bus.
But like I said, after that point, I know this is toxic, and I try to cleanse myself from that. I just got off because I'm like, and when I start saying stuff like, you know what, I think I need some scotch. Yeah, shot would do me. No, see, that's the wrong type of mentality. Time to get off because guess what? A flightless bird can't change their feathers. Okay, they can't change it. So I go on to better things that could empower me and help me do better in life, like the Angry Man Stand. I do 3 out of the 5 things without me even knowing it. You know, listen to Cerulean. There's some stuff that's helped me. Even you, brother Mark. You know the way you come up with your Morning Joe and stuff. Hey, that's cool. You know.
Let me ask you, brothers, a question real quick, if I may. Right, just kind of in line with what we were talking about earlier. Right, when you are looking at, because I know both of you, right? I know CRU. Shout out to you, by the way. I appreciate the love you've been showing me this week. I know both of you have been following this thing, right? With the ADOS, hashtag ADOS movement and things like that, right? I see these attacks as the advent of a kind of a new space that we're kicking the door open. But now that I got y'all live, I want to hear what y'all think about what's happening. Where do you see this thing kind of moving next, and so on and so forth?
Honestly, I can see this thing. If this thing, I can see it go mainstream. I can see it where, okay. Now, granted, they will try to quell your voice, but you know what? Power is taken, not given. So, people like you, that stuff like you got to keep pushing that narrative. Okay, we're not taking this crap anymore. If you yell out of them, someone's going to listen whether they like it or not. We've listened to other things for years, and it's gotten us nowhere. Now, on their last grasp of power, are doing anything to obtain it. But this could be a force that cannot be contained. Yeah,
I absolutely agree with you. The thing that the reason why I'm such a proponent is because it's the one thing that addresses all of the issues that I've had with where our people are. It addresses the issue of unity. It addresses the issue, yes, Miss Denny. Where can it go, right? But it addresses all of that. It addresses the unity. It addresses the agenda piece, like what's our goal, what's our aim, right? It addresses all of the issues that I feel like that we have had for 400 years in this country, right? This one movement in one fell swoop has the capability to change the dynamic on how we interact with, America as a whole, with white folks. It has the potential to change the dynamic on how we've been dealing and interacting with black immigrants and other black people that come here. It has the potential to change the dynamics in how we interact with ourselves as the American descendants of slaves, right? So that, I think personally that it's a game changer in that respect. And where do I see it going? I personally see that this is the vehicle. This is the vehicle, the tank that we could drive right through the barricades to finally hit the goal of our remediation, right? Our repair, right? Our reparations, and our final grasping of the fullest expression of our American citizenship in this country.
Well, can I add on to that?
Absolutely, brother. Jump in.
I do agree with you. I do agree with Cease. Yes. Like, did you see the one with last Sunday with Professor Truth, the Black Authority, and Tyreek? Well, PBT, TBA, and the Black Authority.
Yeah, that was amazing.
No, I didn't get a chance to see that. I was working.
See, imagine those three powerhouse brothers, man, getting on the same sheet.
TBA and PBT always call out Torian Reigns. and Harvey Superboy, which is from
Yeah.
my city, Chicago. Shout out Chicago. But you know what I mean? Like these are the new black media thought leaders, right? This is what we listen to every day. I don't like. I can't keep up with like Torian because I don't even watch the news. I get the news from Torian. You know what I mean? I get all the new news from all of y'all on YouTube. You know what I mean? I probably should be watching the news and get some alerts. You know what I mean? But like, no, these are our thought leaders. I'll get the news from everywhere. You know what I mean? I see newspapers, they pulling people out the river about 100 yards from me every morning. I don't see it because I'm in my crib. But you know what I mean? Motherfuckers get high and go fall in the river. But decide to go swimming when it's 20 below. I don't know what's wrong with these meth heads out here.
Hey, CRU, can I address something real quick? New Black said something in the chat that I wanted to touch or have us touch on. Right? New Black said, let's not delude ourselves. So this is going to further alienate us as a people, which isn't a bad thing at the moment. I'd like for you to clarify on that because I think I know where you're going with it. And if you're going where I think you're going with it, I actually agree, but I want you to clarify on that. Go ahead, CRU.
Okay, yeah, but I don't know because I'm kind of going on for what he just said. It's not going to alienate us. It's just for like, so I'm talking ADOS, right? My best friend is from Trinidad. You feel me? Light skinned guy from Trinidad. 2 of his brothers got deported. You feel me? Like this. But shit, I'm still telling him ADOS and I'm breaking it down to him. Like, this is why we're doing this. This is why we're doing this. Now, if you're over here and you're a hip hopper or, you know what I mean, this, that, making music and, you know what I mean, living a lifestyle, that's cool. But don't perpetuate the bullshit and then claim that you're a black. You feel me? You can't claim that you're black and you're perpetuating the bullshit. And when the black man that who's right here is your best friend is saying, don't do that bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, this whole 21 Savage piece, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll be honest with you. That to me was the biggest non-issue for black people in America to address. If I've ever seen one.
Facts.
Look, I'm sorry.
If I may, let me
go
real
ahead,
quick, because I meant to say this on Gabs yesterday, right? Everybody is arguing about this, that. All right, he's black, so, and then he's done good things for black people. I still consider him, okay, cool. That's cool.
I didn't know he's from Britain.
But the problem is, these damn Latinos, immigrants, those are the ones they're only fighting for. Now, 21 Savage, now, where the hell is Kamala Harris? Where's Angela Rye? Where's Roland Martin talking about the dreamers? Because by definition,
we're all dreamers. According to them.
CRU,
sorry.
Hold on a second, because I now one thing that I'm a lover of. If any of y'all, you CRU and Cease, y'all getting to know me a hell of a lot better now, so you know that there's one thing that I thrive on, and that is consistency. Now, my position, and I don't speak for all ADOS, so this is a topic of discussion that we can have, right? But my position is that immigration in general, but illegal immigration especially, disproportionately negatively affects American descendants of slaves. Now, does this mean that I'm for, nobody should be able to immigrate here? No. But what this does mean is that I am for the strong enforcing of our current immigration law until such time as we either have legislation that changes immigration and so on and so forth, or what have you. Say what you will about 21 Savage, right? I've never even listened to the brother, right? And I'm not shading him because he's immigrant. I'm shading him, if anything. I'm not shading him. I'm simply stating that he was an illegal immigrant. He overstayed his visa. So he was not here in this country legally. If he wants to go and follow the process to gain his naturalization, he is welcome to do so. And on top of that, I have a real fucking problem with this same illegal immigrant wearing our culture, repping Atlanta, claiming that as his home space, right? And repping that as if that's who he was. He was a chameleon, and that's the problem.
All right, I can argue with that on Mark. I can argue with that with you on that, Mark.
How?
When you
hold on, wait, hold on, wait a minute.
I can argue with you on that.
Oh, this I gotta hear.
All right, Mark. You grew up in Cali, right? Now, say at 12 years old, you moved to Chicago.
Right.
Are you a Chicago nigga or are you Cali?
I personally am considering myself a member of the niggas in the Pacific Northwest. I've been here longer than I was in KC. That's my hometown.
No, that's not what I asked you.
Hold on a second.
If you were born till 12 and then at 12 years old you moved to Chicago,
then I'm a Chicago nigga, right? But here, wait, before you go there, because I know where you're going with this. Understand me. If I was born in Paraguay, came here at 12, stayed illegally in LA, that does not make me an LA nigga. That makes me a Paraguayan who lives in LA.
That makes you an illegal immigrant.
That makes me an illegal immigrant. I'm not
saying that makes you a dreamer, but you're still a LA nigga.
What is this?
But you're a dreamer.
What is this dreamer shit? The fact is that dream. Okay.
No, what I'm trying to do is hold the people like Kamala Harris and all of these motherfuckers that's talking about the dreamers, hold them consistent. Because they want to talk about the Mexicans that came across the border and this, that. Why don't you show the same damn deference to 21 Savage? If you're going to be one of these people under the Dreamer Act like Obama and RBR and the rest of radio.
Hold a second, see,
I'm not talking about you. I'm not talking about you, Mark.
I feel you, but listen, we already expect inconsistency from them. I could give less than a damn at this point what Kamala Harris has to say about anything. She's already clearly established that everything that she's about and what she's on has nothing to do with benefiting me and mine. She is already anathema to me. She could come out tomorrow and say that the sky is blue and water is wet, and I still won't give a fuck. That's my.
Did you hear her on Rolling yesterday? She was on Rolling Slowly yesterday. Talking about she got a black.
CRU.
Yeah,
sir. What? Oh yeah, hold on. One, just to be real here, I saw where you're going with that analogy, but it was a terrible analogy. Okay. Two, you talked about two different things with two different comparisons. Okay. I'm a New Englander. I was born in Springfield, Massachusetts. Okay. I've been in New England all my life. If I go somewhere else and I was there longer, I'll be still considered to be American. Okay. So if I went to Chicago and I was there for another 30-something years, okay, I would consider Chicago to be my home. However, if I'm from Uruguay, Brazil, Tanzania, and I didn't go through the proper process, okay, I might claim that New England might be my home, but I just live here as an illegal immigrant.
Facts.
Not as an American. I saw where you're going with the CRU, and I did get what you're trying to say, but it seemed like you and Mark were like on different spectrums, different
I get what you're
levels.
saying.
But I did get what you're saying.
My point was, I'm not blaming 21 Savage.
Oh no, I get it. You're blaming Kamala Harris. No control. But here's the thing: a lot of these things are non-issues for a Black American.
That's what I was saying.
I mean, for instance, the 21 Savage thing, the immigration thing. Look, I got half Hispanic cousins and stuff like that, and they're like, "You should fight for immigration." Why should I? Here's the thing, and this is a true story. I go somewhere, I had to train somebody that was Mexican. Okay, I shouldn't say that. Spanish. They're an illegal immigrant. 2 months, he's my boss. That shouldn't
Two
be
of
that
my
way.
Thank
two
you.
of
Hold
my
on.
best friends' brothers got
Hold on.
deported.
Hold on. That shouldn't be that way. Okay. So when they say immigrants are trying to take our jobs, this is what I feel. If you and I are applying for the same job and you're an immigrant, if you let's say we're applying for be janitors, I don't want to be a janitor. I want to be your boss. Why? Because I've been here.
Exactly.
Okay. I can't go to your house and just start taking over. There's gonna be some goddamn problems.
And that's the whole issue that we've been speaking out as ADOS on. It's not, look, we're not making the differentiation. See, a lot of motherfuckers is trying to make this like some sort of, oh, we're dividing black people issue. The point is that black people are already divided. If you come from Jamaica, you're going to rep your home, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you're Bajan, right, you're going to rep that. If you're Antiguan, you're going to rep that, and that's cool. But now when we say we're going to rep American descendants of slaves, now everybody's in their motherfucking feelings about it. Black people are already divided and yet can still reach the hand out in pan-Africanism. See, I'm not necessarily anti-pan-African. What I'm saying is that charity starts at home. We are having unique issues. Okay, as a matter of fact, let's break it down and make it a little bit more simpler, shall we?
Mark, you got your family, I got my family,
No,
right?
no. I hear you.
Then
Right?
you are cool. Then you are cool, but damn it, your family is first before my family.
But see,
before anybody else? Your family.
Let's do this, because that's taking, that's kind of a reductio ad absurdum, right? Let's keep it a little simpler. You live where you live. Like, Cease is in the Northeast, right? I'm in the Pacific Northwest. There are issues that brothers and sisters face in the Pacific Northwest that brothers and sisters in the Northeast don't face. I would argue that even though we are ADOS, I might need to advocate for certain things that affect black people up here that don't have nothing to do with you, right? It's not saying that I'm shading you out, right? That I'm not going to stand up and be counted when it's time to help you with your issues. I'm saying that even on a local level, right, we are going to have to understand that the only thing that unifies us is our lineage. We're going to have differences, though, across the board that we may need to advocate for in our individual, our local, even our state or regional realms, right? But the thing is that what we've been trying to say is that as ADOS, we have worked our asses off for advocacy, for our freedom, for justice, for rights in this country. And we have paved the way, kicking, dragging, and screaming. We've pulled this country along the path. Meanwhile, these people come here, right? And rather than show us our respect as the trailblazers, right? They come in and they co-opt our lineage for their benefit, right? So then when they get in, instead of you seeing all black people getting jobs, pretty soon all you see is Nigerians getting jobs or Jamaicans getting jobs, right? And so on and so forth if we're talking about black immigrants. But it works the same for every immigrant group. Filipinos, for example, are now taking over the healthcare arena in the area of nursing. There's entire hospitals that you go to, you won't even find a black nurse in there. Why? Because Filipinos came in, right? And black people may have been in there in the nursing field for 20, 30 years, right? Gave them a shot, and then they slowly moved up into management and pushed black folks out and only hired Filipinos. You see what I'm saying? So my point is this. Like Miss Denny will tell you, you go to the post office. Well, who do you see in there? Filipinos. You see Asians. You see, motherfuckers from China, from Southeast Asia, from the Philippines, and so on and so forth. My point is that we have been making immigration an issue for us when it has been affecting us deleteriously. I have family, friends, people that I love who are of immigrant descent. But issues that affect immigration, I have to look at not through their lens, but through the lens of an American descendant of slaves and how it's going to affect me and my people. That's what I'm talking about. I don't have any personal animus towards 21 Savage, but I do have an issue with the fact that he can come here, wrap himself up in a cloak of American blackness, right, and become, in a sense, a voice or an arbiter of what it means to be American black when he's an illegal fucking immigrant from somewhere else. I'm not saying he can't come back. I'm not saying that he can't go through the process and become naturalized and take advantage of what, but I'm saying show some motherfucking respect. Obey my laws. Right? Come here and do it the right way. And don't be trying to make yourself have the pride of place. When my people have the pride of place here, we have the primacy of place. Period. No one else.
I wouldn't even care if they came in here illegally and did their jobs.
See, that's why you and I would disagree, Sierra. I do care if they come in here illegally because
No,
here's what happens.
I'm saying what. Even if they do come in here on some gangster shit or whatever, why the hell are you talking down on us who built the shit for y'all to sneak into?
You know why?
That's my only problem.
I can tell you why they talk down on us. Because we allow it.
Facts.
If we didn't allow this shit, oh yeah. And because this is what they'll do. Here's some butter biscuits and we'll tap dance and we're your brothers and yada, yada, yada. And while they're finessing us, they're finessing us right out of our power, right out of our homes, right out of opportunities, and they all of a sudden it's like, well, what? And 20 years later, well, what the fuck? We're just looking around like, what the hell happened? You know?
Cease. I told you where I'm at. You know where I'm at, right?
We've talked before. I've talked to you and Brother Mark before in Space 420. We all talk privately, but like I said, I know where you at. But here's the thing: this ADOS. Now is the time. There's no time better than be a black person, black man, than now. Okay, while they're losing power on grass, you know. Here's the thing: we can get unfocused. We've been unfocused for so long. We don't listen to me personally, and I don't care who don't like it. We're fighting too many battles on too many fronts for us to be separated and divided. Okay. All right. Like I said, I told you earlier, and Brother Mark, I think I've said this to you at one point. I don't give a fuck what you do, what you are, what you are. Okay, if we got a common goal, let's come together like Voltron and take care of this. All this other shit, the schematics, because I see what they're doing in the media. Because I watch all forms of media.
Me too.
Even though I throw up half the time watching
right.
Fox and MSNBC, you know, I watch.
So I got a question.
Yeah. Let's see, are you?
So now, all right. So it's like 1.2 or 1.6% black people up here, right? And only the 0.2 or 0.6 are black Americans, ADOS. All the rest of them, like, it's more immigrants than it is us here. So should I work with them? Should I, you know what I mean, this, that? Or are they
hold on.
traitors on me at the end of the day?
Listen. The primary thing for every human being is to survive. You do whatever you have to do to survive, but don't forget who you are.
Facts.
Okay.
I'm not telling you to be stupid, black family. Look, I live in the Pacific Northwest. Black people make up about 4% of the population here in Washington State, right? I got to get the bag.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? But am I going to neglect the rest of my people? Fuck no.
No, but I live in the Northeast. I live in Massachusetts, in a Commonwealth state. Okay? Hello?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we listening, brother. Go ahead.
They still allow cannon out there, don't they, CC?
What's that?
I said they still allow you to have a cannon out there, don't they? Or
that's Connecticut. I'm from the place where they birthplace of basketball in the Springfield Armory. You know, but anyways, I forgot where I was going with this. I had a good thought. So I got distracted. But
all right.
The whole point
is talking about 1.6%, the low black population, something like that.
Okay, but yeah, like I said, we're too divided. We're fighting too many wars on too many fronts, you know.
But see, that's exactly why, and I think this is where New Black was going with it earlier. It appears to be alienation, right? In other words, it looks like that we are working to create alienation. But what we're actually doing right? Sans all the bullshit and emotionality and shade that the people whose groups are going to be affected by what we're doing are trying to throw at us. I'm talking about just objectively. What we're actually doing is we're focusing, and they're not used to seeing us focus. They're used to niggas running around hopping on every cause that pops its head up in the media. If the Indians is getting fucked over in North Dakota on Standing Rock, you got niggas out there freezing their nuts off on Standing Rock, right? If it's a terrorist bombing over in Paris, you got niggas, talking about Je suis Paris, right? They're so used to us being scattershot and going all over and touching on everybody's shit that now that we're saying, no, wait a minute, we got to turn that energy, that focus on our interests, what supports us, what uplifts us, that they're not used to that. They're not used to the fact of us taking our scattershot efforts, because we have a degree of power in this country. In a lot of ways, the descendants of slaves are the moral arbiter of what constitutes righteousness and wrongness in this country. If black people say a thing is right, then most people feel comfortable just going ahead and indulging in it. Because if black people think it's cool or it's right or it's solid, then there can't be no injustice in it. But if we think it's fuckery, then everybody tends to think it's fuckery because we're the moral voice. We're the ones who kind of sign off on righteousness and wrongness in this country. And we have been since we've been here. But the problem is that now we're taking that same energy and saying, okay, you know what? We don't have time for Standing Rock. We got hearts. We feel what's going on up there, but we don't have time to make that a focus. We understand what's happening with immigration and all that other shit, but we don't have time to focus on that. Right now, we're putting our focus on us, and they're getting sick.
But here's the thing, too. And this is why, now, I've dealt with immigrants before, right? And this is the first question I ask every immigrant that comes in here. I have heard this. Now, this is in Massachusetts. I've heard this. I have rights. I'm an immigrant. I have rights in this country. So you get a driver. I said, wait a minute. You get a driver license. You get all these benefits. And there's programs, especially when you're in the Commonwealth state for immigrants. Because I live in a place where there's nothing but Polish and Russian people right now. Okay. And they get all types of benefits. I said, wait a minute. Can I go to your country and do the same thing? Can I get the same type of reciprocity that you give us? And everyone told me the same thing. No. Okay, then. I said, well, what makes you think you can come over here and jump over me? And I think I said this on the last live stream. I've talked to immigrants that could try to tell me how to do my job. Well, I'm better than you, but you're homeless. You're in a shelter.
Hey, you ever tried to go to Ghana and get a residential visa?
Oh, you got to go through a lot of stuff. I mean, the only place I've been to was Egypt.
And they passed a law back in 2011 allowing for the right of return over in Ghana, and they still don't have a mechanism in place for us to do it. So they got niggas over here high about, oh, we could go back home to the motherland in 2019 is the year of return. Okay, well, what's the motherfucking process? What's our standing going to be when we get there? Will we be treated as citizens, or are we going to just be treated as guests? These are all real key questions that, strangely enough, nobody wants to fucking answer. And this is, you know what, New Black hit on something I really, really want to thank you for, New Black, and that is this. If all of these people, especially black immigrants, were real true allies to us, they would want to see us get our due here. Don't you know that the Commonwealth countries like Jamaica, Barbados, and other island nations in the Pacific are trying to pursue their own reparations claims with the UK, right? There are other, you know what I'm saying? So in other words, if they really were truly allies and not just coming here and co-opting our shit for their collective benefit, they would want to see us get our due because it enhances the likelihood that they'll get theirs. But guess what's not happening, right? What's not happening is we're not seeing full-throated support from other so-called diasporic Africans, right? So again, it's not that we don't have hearts and don't see the shit that's happening in Haiti or other places. But right now, we don't have the time to focus on their shit. We have to focus on our shit. And because of that, they feeling some kind of way about it. But I say, fuck your feelings. We've been focused on everybody else. Look, I lived in a neighborhood that was poorer than a motherfucking. Y'all remember back in 92 with the whole Black Hawk Down shit, where America went into Somalia, right? How is it that you got Bloods and Crips, ghetto children over there talking about stacking up their pennies to come and ride over in Somalia and fight the U.S. Army on behalf of Somalia? Meanwhile, these same Somali motherfuckers come here and they set up their little ethnic enclaves and they don't even fuck with niggas like that. We've been, we've been pan-African and love, doing things and supporting the motherland and other diasporan countries and shit. And when our term comes and say, hey, now we trying to get our due, you hear crickets.
Of course, because you know why? Because everybody's for himself. And here's the thing: you can't. If we keep putting ourselves on the back burner, if we don't show that we love ourselves in some form of way, why would anyone else love us? Because nobody's going to treat you better. Nobody's going to treat you better than you.
Absolutely.
But when you treat other people better than yourself, and they see that, look, my father had an old saying. I used to hate this thing, but I get it. See a fool, use a fool.
Facts.
And guess what? We're fools. I'm saying it collectively, myself included. We're fools, and guess what?
Shit. You see a fool, bop their head.
Use a fool.
I agree with y'all 100% wholeheartedly.
But you know what? And here's the thing. Now you got some people like Mark Black, Angry Man, Cerulean Gray, Harvey Superboy, Tareen Reigns, Kendra D, Nicole Ali, Jennifer. You see a whole bunch of people who are becoming more mature now in their voices. And it's like, oh, people are slowly waking up.
We're Russian agents. We're all Russian agencies.
Yes. Listen, if I'm a Russian agent, where's my money? If I was getting paid for this shit, I want more money. I want to buy me another. I want to buy me another house. I want a 5-bedroom house.
No. Vladimir Putin gave us a moose steak.
But you know what though?
Then we get to go on. Then we get to go on DJ Vlad next week.
But check this out. That's not new though, right? Because you got to understand something. That's not new. Historically in this country, from Reconstruction all the way to today, they have always tried to spin the narrative that any discontent, any agitation amongst the American descendants of slaves cannot be internally driven. It has to be outside agitators, outside influences. Remember, after Reconstruction, when we were first freed off of the plantations and we were building our communities and shit, anybody who came from, like, say, the northern states, like New England, New York, and so on and so forth, to help black people were called carpetbaggers and scalawags, right? When you look in the 20s and the 30s, when you had the advent of the NAACP, the idea of the talented tips with W.B. Du Bois and others, right? Ida B. Wells Barnett, and all of our great ones of that generation. Some of them were members of the card-carrying members of the Communist Party, the Bolsheviks in Russia that took over in 1918, right? And so America said, oh, it's these communist infiltrators coming over here stirring up all our good niggers, making them discontented and so on and so forth. It couldn't be.
Hey, but Mark, you read Karl Marx, right? You probably have
I've read Das Kapital.
Back in the day.
I've read Das Kapital.
No,
but I don't want you to get sidetracked.
Marx is over with.
I'm saying my point is that we have always seen that one of the methods used by both the powers that be and their puppets is to take and shunt our discontent as not native. It is not native to us. We happy-go-lucky Negroes who just love the spot we in. We just got these outside agitators coming in, stirring us all up because niggas can't think enough or see enough about our own situation to have discontent, to want redress. No, it's always outside, outside agitators. It's the same with Shireen talking about the Russian bot influence on our political discourse via social social media. Again, black people can't be looking at these people's records, their policies, their platforms, and determining for ourselves what's the truth of the matters and where they stand as to whether or not they support agendas, advocacy, and benefits for the American descendants of slaves. No, we're being influenced to think this way by the Russians. It's the same old song and dance. This is why we have to understand the history of it. And this is also speaks to why immigrants, black immigrants, can't center themselves in any struggle of ours here in America because they don't understand the fucking history. They don't have the lineage and they don't understand the history of what we faced here in the crucible known as Fortress America. They don't know it.
So, Mark, as a Russian bot, what would you say to this? All right, I was listening to the thing earlier. I know you're a Russian bot because RBR said so. He's the RBR Russian bot radio. But no. Let me. Yeah. No, Russian bot radio. Cerulean said that the other day.
Oh, okay. I thought it was Bratwurst.
Russian bot radio, because no, he called Cerulean and Nyla and everybody Russian bots because we're saying ABOS.
Yeah. I would say something,
all right,
but
so
you know
now,
what?
Here's what I'm saying, right? So certain women have went underground like with fake things and said they're in the MGTOW room. You know what I mean? Like the white MGTOW rooms, the black Igbo rooms, and this and that. But they said they still could not understand what the hell they were talking about. So that goes back to what you were saying, Mark, about like you can be in a space, but you don't understand what the fuck is going on.
Exactly. They don't understand. Look, this is how, okay, so you know what? Look, let's just tell true talk, right? This is Sucka-Free Saturdays. So we're going to keep it 100% true talk. One of the major issues that we have with these black immigrants coming here and co-opting our spaces is that they're allowed, right? Because remember, family, don't get it twisted. You can steal this one from me if you want to. These niggas are the equivalent of sugar-free devil's food cake. They all of the flavor and none of the guilt. They all of the blackness and none of the justice claim. So don't get it twisted, right? These people are allowed to a certain extent to do what they do because white folks are comfortable with them, right? They don't have to worry about them going hard in the paint on injustices and shit that happen in the workplace and all this and that and the third. Because in point of fact, you know what I'm saying? They don't have enough history behind them to know how whites have done us in this country. They don't get to speak.
But if they were smart, they would have got behind it. If they were smart, they would have got behind us.
Well, here's the thing, though.
We win, they win because the U.S. owes all of their countries a whole lot of shit too.
But here's the thing,
behind the Haitian shit, behind the Jamaican shit, behind all of it.
But here's the thing, though. Why would they get behind us and they getting trinkets from somebody else?
Thank you.
Well, they're giving us shiny gobbles and lollipops. What are you guys giving us? You ain't done nothing. And all they gotta say is, yeah, just let them know. But here's
if they give them a ring, a pinky ring or something, right? That's for them cooning. But if they come get behind us, they're gonna have a whole treasure chest. We built all of it.
No, but here's the thing, you're asking them to do something though that is hard for humans to do. You're asking them to delay gratification, right? Because let's face facts. While, yes, in the long term, their advocacy and allyship with us works out to all of our benefit, going and kissing the ass of white folks benefits them now. There was a study that came out recently that said that college admissions people regularly tend to choose African immigrants and other diasporic immigrants over black, native black students and applicants for college because the likelihood of them being strong political advocates is much less. They're less likely to rock the motherfucking boat. You see what I'm saying? So again, I want us to understand something. Yes, I was strident. I was hard. I was even harsh with my verbiage toward black immigrants. But what they have to understand is this.
It's nothing personal.
It's not personal. This is business. Just like when y'all go into y'all spaces and we're Abits, we're Akata, we're Obruni, we're so on and so forth, right? When you go into your spaces and you speak real greasy on us, you see what I'm saying? And we let that slide. We know you're doing it, but we still take, I'm sorry, we still take you in though, even though we know you shading us behind our backs, right? We know you doing us dirt. You see what I'm saying? And we still ride with you. All we're saying at this point is show us the same loyalty we have already been showing you. Yes, you can make arguments on an individual basis because I've heard immigrants say, well, when I come here, y'all call us African booties. Look, you know, playing the dozens is a long, hollowed American
standing
black
tradition.
If you in the hood and you ain't got a thick skin when you leave that motherfucker, somebody failed you. I was more fat, dumb niggas before I was 9 years old than I was ever. Okay? But what that did was allowed me to harden the fuck up to face a world that wouldn't go give a fuck about my feelings. It's a survival mechanism. And again, had you been here and understand the history of how we operate in this country, how we've had to maneuver this space, you would understand that it's nothing personal. As a matter of fact, it's a sign that we are accepting you, that we throw shade. We throw shade at each other. How the fuck you think you're going to escape shade? That you above getting slandered a little bit, or whatever the case may be, you know.
Hey, Mark,
I'm getting 4 years old. I get shade.
They get it. They be up here for 2 years, and then they finally realize, like, oh shit, I see.
You know,
like I know people like shit. Like I'm talking about, like they just got here, and they be like, yeah. They talk down on us. And then 2 years later, they be like, oh, shit, nigga, I know what you was talking about. These motherfuckers ain't.
Like I said, it's nothing personal.
Exactly.
It's just, it's business.
Yeah, we talking about, look, this, black immigrants, understand me when I tell you, this is about two things. Clearly delineating a class. If you understand anything about the legal system in this country, when you operate as a group, you have to be classified as a class in order to have any legal standing, right? So it's about delineating the American descendants of slaves as a specific class and seeking specific redress of grievances, remediation, and repair for said class. This don't got nothing to do with you. It ain't we hate you. It ain't that we want to see you motherfuckers fall. It ain't none of that. It's just business.
That's all it is. And guess what? Here's the bad part. And we allow outside forces to keep you divided. You know, because here's the thing. When they come in, we don't know what to expect because we've been conditioned not to trust our own. That looks like us.
Right.
Okay? And when they get in here, they've been conditioned before they get here. And when they do get here, well, you know, we'll give you some trinkets and some baubles and yada yada. Stay away from those guys because they're dangerous to you. And in the long run, it keeps us separated. No one's having a dialogue. We come in with preconceived notions, you know. Like I said, we're just too far divided. You know, it's not that we can't get along, but no one wants to sit there and talk. Everyone wants to talk and dominate, but nobody wants to listen and figure out, okay, why is this person saying this? Why does this person feel this way? You know?
Exactly.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
You know, when they come over here, they tell them, don't even go over there messing with them American DOS if you want a green card. You want your visa taken from you? I bet not catch him at your house. That's what they tell them.
Yeah, real spill. I mean, look, we've heard stories of videos that they show new immigrants, like when they have these big block new immigrant meetings, you know, like familiarization with the nation and things like that, where they show them videos of you know, criminal activity in our neighborhoods and us getting attacked by police and all this and that to try to dissuade them from having any type of positive interaction with us. Never mind the fact that the pale stream media on this planet is global, if you think that these people haven't gotten some ideas of what and who they think we are from media outlets like MTV and so on and so forth, you'd be sadly mistaken. If you watch MTV, all black people is thugs and hood rats who's only out there profiting off of the pain of their own people.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Mark, let me ask you this, though. What is the same message that they put out about the people on the continent, though, or the rest of the diaspora, the Indians, the Islanders, and all that? What do they give us, Black Americans, ADOS, to tell them to tell us about them? What message do they give us?
Oh,
Nothing.
you know we don't really hear much about Africa.
Nothing.
That's facts.
For less than a cup of coffee a day, you can feed this ashy face ass nigga that live somewhere on the continent.
Yeah, they good for that.
What do they tell us?
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
But hold on a second, CRU, because
everybody over there is some dusty, dirty feet ass.
Okay, but now let's be fair about it too, right? Let's keep it a buck. How effective, though, has that been at really kind of telling us what Africans truly are as a collective, right? As a continent.
I would say very effective because I be trying to bring people to Africa. I try to bring people to Africa. My own ex-wife didn't want to come to Africa to visit her daughter because she said it's a bunch of dusty feet ass motherfuckers out there. All she had to do was get her passport.
There's more studies than anything else out there, you know. But they show that because, like I said, no one wants to think for themselves.
Exactly. There is that,
you know.
And not only that too, but let's face facts. We have been fortunate as ADOS in this country, in a sense. Go ahead, Real Spiel.
I've been so busy dealing with America, I ain't had time to think about no other countries.
That's facts. That's one other thing to take into account. When you facing Fortress America, your attention can't be too goddamn divided and live long enough to have this gray in your shit. You feel me? Because you fuck up once, and that means the graveyard, the motherfucking nut house. You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
That means the prison. You know what I'm saying? So let's keep it a buck. It's not necessarily that black people ain't interested in Africa. But we on survival mode. I told y'all that I follow Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? If you look at the hierarchy, the base foundation is survival. It's being warm when it's cold, being cool when it's hot, having adequate shelter, having adequate food. This country, through the theft of our wealth, our intellectual property, the use of our bodies without remuneration, has kept us on our back foot in survival mode. It's hard to talk to a motherfucker about the glittering beauty of Addis Ababa when he's stuck in the motherfucking projects trying to make it from day to day. It's not saying we ain't interested. It's saying, though, that survival takes a back seat to everything else has to take a back seat to us just getting the bag on the daily.
Yeah.
I get you, Mark, but you know how I look at it? Like, I play the video games, right?
Right.
I'm trying to beat Mortal Kombat and Red Dead Redemption at the same time. I already beat Mortal Kombat.
Right.
But but listen to me, right? So I might have this dude that just got pulled up from the pit of hell just now, and he done whooped my ass the first round. He got half my energy.
Brother CRU, you there, man?
Yeah, you just cut out.
Yeah, he cut off.
Hey, Real Spiel, I'm glad.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, CRU. Finish up, man.
So, like, if he beat me in the second round, right? If he beat me in the second round halfway through, and then I go whoop his ass in the second round, now the third round, I feel like, okay, if he beat me the first round and a half, and I came back, shit, I'm finna whoop his ass the rest of this shit. Like, it don't matter how bad it looks. It only takes one of us. But one of us will make a group. One of us will make a platoon, which will grow into a brigade, which will grow into an army. We can do this shit, no problem.
Most definitely. And most definitely. But the tool that we have now to do that is hashtag ADOS. It's this self-identification as a distinct and unique lineage. That's the one weapon I think that we've been missing. Go ahead, Real.
Hey, I want to ask you, Mark, so ADOS, don't our birth certificates look different?
You know, now I'll be honest, I don't believe so, but that's something I'd be more than glad to look into. I do know that.
I'll tell you about birth certificates.
What do they get? I mean, what do they get when they come here? You know what I mean? They have to identify them to let them know that they're not born here, and then they got to identify us to let them know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
They know who ADOS is.
Oh, most definitely.
They know who we are.
But what exactly?
If you were asking what exactly is ADOS, I'm going to give you the standard.
No, I said, what exactly do you have to show a birth certificate for?
No, I'm trying to see. I'm trying to see what separates us from. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean, Real. So first of all, a birth certificate is issued by a state jurisdiction, right? And of course, because they were not born here, they would not have
counties or cities,
right? You know, you can even in certain jurisdictions you can use, like, let's say that you weren't born at a hospital. There are places in America where people still have kids at home. Right? If you have like a family Bible that shows like your lineage and shit like that, that's also considered an official birth record, right? So there's various ways and means of delineating birth, naturalized birth here in the United States, right? But for immigrants that come here, they of course were not born here, right? So what they get is they get basically a document that says that they reside in a particular state. Right, or that when they became naturalized, that they, have a document that delineates that. But that is in replacement of a birth certificate. It's not actually. So I don't believe they get issued birth certificates, but they have naturalization documents that act instead.
Yeah, and that's the fucked up part. That's what Nyla was talking about, right? She says, like, she's in Chicago, right? And she says, like, okay, if we're GDs or foes or whatever, that's black gangs, right? But if you got the SAs and the Kings and all of that over there, right? They cannot get stopped. They cannot get pulled over. They cannot get their background check run because they've got some kind of ID that says it's a protected city or whatever, not protected sanctuary city or whatever. City. Yeah, so that's fucked up. So now,
most definitely. And you got our congressional black fossils to thank for that shit.
Latinos come shooting at us, and then we're sitting here, me, you, and you know what I mean, me, Mark, and you know what I mean, and Real, and we sitting here over here on the corner, and the Latinos roll up on us. Guess what? They can card us, they can run our background and everything, but they can't do shit to them because they're illegals. It's sanctuary city.
They can't even call ICE on them.
Yeah, they're not even allowed to go. Okay, so. I know that y'all probably have not heard about this, so this is a great time for me to mention it. But the darling of the left in Washington, D.C., Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, gave a speech where she called for the defunding of ICE until such time as they are addressed for their treatment of illegal immigrants. So she, a sitting congressperson...
That's what she... She an immigrant, Mark. That's what she gonna do.
But exactly. But here's the thing, family. We got to make sure that we are at the forefront. See, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Again, this isn't hating anybody who comes here for asylum, right? If you can file a legitimate asylum claim and be accepted into this country, fan-fucking-tastic, right? If you go through the legal naturalization process, Miss Denny's mother served this goddamn country. She's a veteran, right? She earned her citizenship by serving in the military. Respect due, right? If you come in the right way, I got no hatred for you.
Just call me before you come knocking at my door, basically.
Hold on.
Call me. Let me know you outside.
AOC also said that all reparations shouldn't be just for slavery. It should be everybody who got treated badly in America. And I'm like,
That bitch, man.
And this is what she,
No.
that
Well,
what she
to an
said.
extent,
But
to an
Mark,
extent, maybe,
Mark,
but no, it goes to
okay, when they come here, they benefit the USA though. They
Yeah.
not benefiting us.
Facts. And
They're
this
not
is
talking about reparations for me
this
when they
is
come over here.
this is exactly
So
why
why should I accept them with open arms and
I'm
be, oh, come on and get
real
your
spill.
paperwork?
Real spill.
No.
I'm with wait, pause. Because I am saying, okay, so there is, how would you say, the view that is the common accepted view, which is follow the law, come in the country, be here. Okay, cool. That's that. Now, my personal belief is that I would like to see, at least for the next, well, I don't know, 10 years or so, at a minimum, a moratorium on immigration. And I'll explain why I'm requesting that. The reason why I'm requesting that is as follows. There is, until we have had our justice claim addressed, a real issue documented, right, and studied. This is facts, this is data that suggests that immigration, even when immigrants aren't necessarily hating us or working against us or whatever the case may be, that having immigrants deleteriously, right, disproportionately affects Black America, DOS, right? I can't ride with some shit that is causing my people to have a lack of opportunity, a lack of economic access into the economy, and so on and so forth. This is my personal belief, real. So you and I are on the same sheet of music on that. I don't want them to be coming here, at least for a while, until we have our issues addressed, until we have been remediated. At such point, if you want to open up the doors and have a legal immigration policy and let these motherfuckers come in, have at it, house. But right now, we don't need no more of them motherfuckers. And it ain't hatred. It's just looking out for me and my peoples. Period.
Right.
Hey, the airplane. You put your mask on first before you put
Thank you. Exactly. If this motherfucking airplane is going down, I'm putting my motherfucking mask on, and if I'm able to, I'm reaching over and take care of my man Spill. You know what I'm saying? Take care of my man CRU. But I gotta make sure I can breathe in this motherfucker first.
Facts.
Okay, I ain't got nothing against helping people who are going through rough times in their respective countries and so on and so forth. But nigga, I can't breathe. So I'm sorry, but for now, fuck you. I needs mine. It's as simple as that. I'm dying over here.
And a nigga try to grab my mask, he's gonna die.
Facts.
Period.com.
You see what I'm saying? Shit.
We might all die on the class, but goddamn, don't grab my mask on the way down.
Tell him, CRU, you try to grab a... See, and that's what's happening right now, family, is the equivalent of these motherfuckers coming over here, and we in survival mode, we trying to put our mask on, and these motherfucking Black immigrant gatekeepers and bootlicks is trying to snatch the mask off our face. The fuck I look like?
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to breathe in this motherfucker. I'm trying to make it to where my children and your children can finally live in a country where they have the fullest expression of their goddamn citizenship that we have bled, fought, and died for. I'm sick of these pan-Africanist ass niggas telling me that because I love my country, this is mine. My ancestors built it.
You better know it.
I'll even say it deeper than that. I'll even say it deeper than that, Mark.
Maintain this shit. Don't sit here and tell me that I'm some sort of fucking neo-imperialist or whatever because I love the soil that my ancestors' bones is buried in. Nigga, fuck you.
Hey, Mark.
Hey, Mark. I'll even say it deeper than that, right? They trying to snatch my mask, but I'm the air marshal. I'm the only one on the plane with a gun.
Facts.
They let us. If we get our reparations, if we do what we can do, and if we do what we're supposed to do, everybody else in the world is straight because we are benevolent leaders.
You know what?
Mark.
How many times have I... Now, see, those of y'all who haven't watched any of the videos on my old channel, right? I would recommend that when you get a chance, go do so. I'm not broadcasting and doing anything more over there, but there's a lot of good shit that I talked about. And one of the things that I talked about was the idea that America The United Snakes, Fortress America, is the linchpin of white supremacy throughout the globe. If we change the game, the dynamic here, everywhere else has to fall in line. You see what I'm saying? The battlefront for all of you so-called pan-African, pro-black, conscious, woke motherfuckers ain't in Africa. It's here.
Hold on. Hey, Mark, I gotta say this though.
Go ahead, brother.
Here's the thing: they're so woke that you know when you have a lack of sleep, you start being hysterical.
Facts.
You start hallucinating. Okay, they're not woke. They have insomnia. Okay, these motherfuckers need a nap.
Hey, see, you know what happens when you drink too much coffee? You so woke. Nigga can't even write his name.
Speak for yourself. I drink so much coffee, it puts me to sleep. I'm saying, but here's the thing too. And all jokes aside, another thing they come and do is another supremacist tactic is gaslighting. Oh, that's what they do. Well, you know, you should be proud of yourself. Then, if I shouldn't be proud of me being a black American, then why are you so prideful of being Nigerian American or Haitian American? Because the first thing they'll tell you is, don't you call me no African American. We're not African American.
I know black.
That's the first thing they'll say.
I know black.
No,
I Dominican. I know black.
Go on
I
their
know black,
pages.
puppy. No.
Go on their
I know
social
black.
media page.
And then it's like, so why did you bring your ass over here then?
No. This is what you don't. No.
Dumbass blacks built all this.
CRU, Real, and Mark. This is what you do. You give them the test. I'm not black. Okay, then put an app in for the neo-Nazi party and the KKK and the alt-right and see what happens to you. And I'll be right here when you don't get back.
Wait, make sure you take your camera with you, Scott. I ain't never seen a cross burning live before. You know what I'm saying?
Put their address and phone number and lock their Google location on it.
Oh, by the way, give me that $100, homie. You ain't gonna make it back from that meeting.
Brothers, hold on, pause for a second, because shout out to Peacemaker45. Thank you for joining the broadcast. He just brought up something that I gotta touch on. I have to touch on it. So please, brothers, fall back for just a second, and we're gonna get it in, right? These motherfuckers tell us that we're being divisive, right? That we're dismissing the needs of other black folk by organizing as ADOS, right? When there's a new advocacy group, the motherfucking African Immigrant Caucus. Yes, I'm not making this shit up. This is made up of African immigrant professionals and doctors and so on and so forth, and politicians that are looking for political advocacy in my motherfucking country for their agendas and their interests. But I'm being divisive when I want the same for my motherfucking people. Make this shit make sense to me, black people.
My African lawyer, he got me my divorce in custody, but I got thrown in jail.
Damn, how'd that work?
I don't know if I trust them Nigerian lawyers no.
Hey man, I swear to God, they come over here on some old Uncle Ruckus shit. Don't trust them new niggas over there. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what the fuck? So they sit here and tell us that we supposed to be full-throated, full-bore advocacy on some pro-black, pan-African shit. But then they come over here to Golden Mountain, the land that we built. It's a land of sweets and joy and joyness. And these motherfuckers want they cake over here. Ain't that a bitch?
Mark, stop acting like cerulean with your wife laughing at you in the background.
Yeah, we all can hear that crap.
My Nigerian lawyer, dog, he got me custody, but then I was in jail for 16 months.
Hey,
after that, like what the?
They're from the Wild Pop Guild.
Yeah, exactly, man. These motherfuckers. Yeah, these motherfuckers, man. I'm telling you, they own one, right? And here's the crazy part about it. You know what I'm saying? I expect, believe it or not, right? Because like I said, we have been preparing for this moment now for about the last 3 years across various media platforms, right? If you've really been up on the ADOS movement, we just been creeping while y'all was sleeping.
Because I've been talking about reparations.
If y'all wasn't, on what we own, it's only because we ran silent and ran deep. You know what I'm saying? So we've been preparing for this moment for a minute. I've been expecting the pushback and the shade from black immigrants and shit, right? We've been prepared for that. The thing that should throw your ass for a loop, though, because I was prepared for it, but most of us who are ADOS wasn't prepared for this shit. We wasn't prepared for the motherfucking pushback that we've been seeing from these motherfucking insomniac, woke ass, pan-African ass niggas who used to be named Raheem Johnson, but whose name is Ashitella Unamala Kennedy and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mark, if they said reparations tomorrow, them niggas be the first one in line.
Facts. Talking about, oh, we always knew that we was gonna get it. We was at the vanguard.
Oh, but that's the fucked up part. That's why they don't get behind reparations, because they know they can't be the first ones in line, because was the last person in line off the carnival. They came to America yesterday.
Look, let me tell you something. These niggas want to sit here. Okay, look, I got something I want to say to all these motherfuckers who want to identify as everything but the American descendants of slaves. This is a shout out to the Hebrew Israelites, indigenous, pan-African niggas, and so on. When we get our come up, right, when we finally get our due, politely have several motherfucking seats and don't say shit. Don't say shit. Just nod your head.
Hey, but Mark, you know us indigenous, we're also slaves. They just flipped us and told us we were African.
My point is, I'm not throwing no shade at them for real. But what I'm saying is that it's funny. Prior to us advocating for our justice claim, right? Prior to us pursuing our final fight in this country, right? Everybody wanted to be everything but black. They wanted to be Moors. They wanted to be motherfucking Hebrew Israelites. They want to be motherfucking team indigenous. They want to be, my name is Yawala, Kamali, Jatala, and shit,
Mark,
right?
I got a cousin that's an Israelite. Tell me about this shit. And if they say checks tomorrow, her ass will be out here calling them. Oh, I got my check. I got my check.
She'd be like, yeah, you feel me?
But look how a fake Indian name got everybody pronouncing it like it's African. Kamala. No, it's Kamala.
It's Kamala. It's not Kamala.
Yeah, that's an Indian bitch.
But here's
she eating curry and everything. Stinky ass.
Hold on. The only Kamala I trust is that wrestler from the 80s, okay? That's the only Kamala I trust.
Ugandan giant, goddammit.
You got it.
I love
even
that
though he was from Britain. Even though he was from Britain.
I don't give a fuck. I love him.
All right. Kamala, Ugandan giant that couldn't talk for nothing, but you know what?
But he'll whoop your motherfucking ass.
I want to ask Kamala why she sent me to prison. She was the DA of Alameda County, my city.
Hey,
yeah, I want to ask her why she was sending black parents to prison for kids being pulled from school.
That part too.
Question. Are you darker than a paper bag?
Nope.
Well then, I guess you could. Well, here's the thing, because she's not really black. She's Indian.
Exactly.
And she won't say black. She'll, I'm Jamaican. Okay, there's a lot of people in Jamaica. I know Asian people in Jamaica, believe it or not. I know. It's like a final 4-week cover, but they do exist. But anyways, so then I'm basically Cardi B, who's Dominican. Because at first she was claiming that she was, I'm black. I'm part black because I'm Dominican. Then she got that money. Then she went to, I forgot what happened when she got that money.
Now she's Eritrean.
Then this whole transracial shit.
I'm sorry. No, I'm getting my bitches mixed up. That's that Tiffany Haddish bitch, right? You know, that motherfucker who was in Girls Night Out or whatever the case may be. Perpetuating all these stereotypes, and we love it because, we love that type of nigga shit. So we put her on, and now she Eritrean.
Correction. I couldn't stand her. I remember she was on Comic View years ago. I'm like, they all sounded like to me. Monique, some more, she did, and she was enlightening them. I'm like, no, you're not gonna make it. Huh, little did I know.
I never liked Tiffany. I really never liked Kevin, even back in like the early 2000s when he was.
But here's the thing though. He's short. He plays a bitch very well.
Yep.
Actually, nope. I'm sorry. Let me correct that. he doesn't only play a bitch in TV, but he's also one in real life.
But guess what? Tiffany
I play a bitch in
I'm
real
also
life.
a client.
Huh?
Listen,
I'm also a client.
Oh, listen, listen, I can admit this to all you guys on the chat, and I don't care who hears this. I used to be a former super simp, okay? So it's the devil knows its own.
Facts.
Like, you are a simp, dude. How can you tell? I used to be just like him, but worse.
Yeah.
How'd you come out of it? I grew the fuck up.
But see,
because you know what?
But you know what though? This is the type of shit that I'm talking about.
I know your next move.
See,
don't buy her dinner. Don't buy her.
Hey, see, are you? But this is exactly what I was talking about when I said bots, blacks on television, right? These motherfuckers who come in and wrap themselves like she portrays all these negative stereotypes about black women, being loud hood, ghetto as fuck, and make her red.
Mark,
and then,
you know why? Because it's a Me Too movement. She allowed to do it. Mm-hmm. She got women behind her.
If you saw her unsung biography, I didn't know who she was because she was that calm. I'm like, they had like somebody had to say, oh, they're talking about Tiffany. I'm like, she's this calm. This is what she's really like. But then she gets on camera, she's always on, like Will Smith and everything else. But see, their days are coming too, because if people start waking up with ELS or whatever movement or so forth, there'd be no need for them.
Exactly.
Saying it, and any of those brothers are smart, and
it shouldn't have been none of them. It shouldn't have been none of them from the gate. How they get to come reap the benefit? How they get to come reap the benefits of my ancestors for civil rights?
Easy.
How do all these other groups get ahead of us? No,
easy.
Because we were inundated by the television.
Not only
now that we have things, now we have
things never been for none of
where
it.
we can send videos and our thoughts.
Okay, you have not maybe been none of it, and a lot of us may not been for none of it. The thing was, we were finessed out of it. Okay, right. A lot of us finessed. A lot of us were bought off. It was just look. Here's some hardcore truth. It was the same thing with slavery. All of us weren't stolen. Okay, a lot of us got tricked out of stuff.
Yeah.
For resources.
Absolutely.
And guess what? It's the same thing.
False promises. False promises.
Exactly. I mean, look.
Cecil, Mark, and Real, right? Did y'all have a choice in what y'all was watching up till 12 years old? Up till 50? You know what I mean? Up till y'all could actually leave the crib.
Well, here's the thing.
No.
Did y'all have a choice in what y'all was watching?
No.
We didn't. But
come center at this time, do homework, and do this.
Okay, but hold on a second though.
Did y'all have a choice?
True talk though. We didn't have a choice. But in my household, when we had like barbecues and shit, we was listening to motherfuckers like ZZ Hill. We was listening to
BB King.
BB King. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We was listening to black folk. When I watched TV,
James Brown, Stylistics,
Soul Train.
You know what I'm saying? I was watching Soul Train and Good Times. And
no,
shit like that,
what I'm saying, Mark, is how often was that? What was your day-to-day shit?
What you they watch your Love and Restless and all that, that type of stuff. My great grandmother was.
That's what I'm saying. Think about how much worse it is now when you got the thought grandmother that birthed the thought that birthed the grandchild.
Okay.
And now they're all watching Love and Hip Hop all together.
Actually,
their damn Mighty Man meal in microwaves.
They want to be called. No, they want to be called nanas. Don't call me granny. I'm a nana. You a granny. Yeah, you a granny.
You know,
all three of y'all still on the same
you 34 years old and you a grandma and your daughter's 17. What the fuck kind of shit?
Wait a minute. Hold on. It's like
they all work at the same club.
Yeah. Kid needs help with homework. The kid needs help with homework. The parent needs help with homework. What the hell is this shit?
And we're not bashing our sisters. We're not bashing our sisters. No, we're not.
But here's the thing to note, family. At the end of the day, I need, because I'm gonna wrap this up here pretty soon. We done had us a good ass discussion. I want to thank all of you for y'all's participation and y'all's love. But this is the
Mark,
thing.
you ain't shit, man. You ain't shit, man.
Hey, you got me on Discord, motherfucker. You can always hit me up. As a matter of fact, I'm popping the link to the Discord is in the description box. When this broadcast is over, don't let the discussion be over. Join the Discord. Come on, speak your piece. You could type text to me. You can holler at your man. You know what I'm saying? The conversation does
vice
not,
versa.
you know what I'm saying?
Vice
Does
versa.
not have to stop simply because the broadcasts do. We need to be talking
Vice versa.
between these broadcasts. You feel me?
Yeah.
But the thing,
all of us.
thing
When
that
somebody got one, jump on there.
the thing that I want to leave y'all with is this. Understand me when I tell you, DOS family, we are in the process of changing the entire motherfucking narrative. I know that brother Elias is a little bit on the pessimistic side. That's fine. You know what I'm saying? We're not asking anymore, Elias, for our reparations. We are demanding it. We will have our due, or there will be no peace from us. There will be no accession to the same old bullshit ass agendas. There will be no more division. Today is our day of unification. Today we go hard for our interests, for our people. And damn everybody else until we get it. Go ahead, brother.
Hey, you know who else is pessimistic? Our master teacher. He's very pessimistic.
I know that. That's why I'm working my ass off to try to make him wrong this one time.
I want to prove him wrong.
Absolutely.
Who?
Brother BGS, he's pessimistic about the idea of us getting our due, and I get it. You know what I'm saying?
I get why he's like. I get why he's like that. I understand.
I do too.
Because I know.
Is that the older? Is that the older dude?
Yes, he's about 60 years old.
He be in a room by himself, kind of heavy.
Oh no! Oh, you thought? Oh, that's somebody completely different. No, no.
You know,
I think you're talking about brother, Mr. No, because I haven't.
They hating on us.
Real Brat was radio.
Yeah, him.
Yeah, I don't know nothing about that cat. I ain't never watched.
You gotta go see it. Mark, we gotta see. Mark,
yes, no, you can't.
Mark, please don't watch it, man. It's like watching a Black Alex Jones times on steroids.
We have to see. We gotta see who our enemies are.
No, trust me, brother. I'm well up on who our enemies are, and I got enough brain junk food. If I want to watch brain junk food, I know where Pharaoh's channel is at. You know what I'm saying? I don't need no more garbage in, garbage out type shit. You see what I'm saying, brother? Say your final pieces, brothers. Say your final pieces, brothers. I want y'all to go ahead and get y'all's final points in. Oh, shout out to, but before we do that though, shout out to Peacemaker 45, brother Elias, Miss Denny, all the love in the world, Star Man. Let me go back through the chat here, brother Thomas B. And yes, brother Thomas B, I know there's actually a lot of Hebrew Israelites that do support ADOS, so I want to give you your props on that. T-Mec, shout out to you. Shout out to, let's see here, Brother Keith, 7721, and Brother Keith, the proud Mississippian, nothing but love for you, brother. Shout out to Mr. Hayes, PNW, represent. Shout out to CR Frank, represent. Shout out to Harry Webster. You might not be one of us, but you're an ally. I see you. Welcome to the broadcast. Shout out to, let's see here. Let me going through. Real Spills in here. You're going to get to speak. Let's see here. Shout out to Brother Lloyd. Let's see here. Shout out to JBA. Shout out to New Black. Thank you. You was killing the game. And to everybody I might have missed, shout out to you. We ain't done. Remember, stick with your boy. Come get your motherfucking Morning Joe with me. Fucks with me. Hit the link there to show me some love. Give me those spare coins. And nigga gotta eat. You know what I'm saying? This ain't free. Show some love. And I'm gonna let the brothers say their final piece. Go ahead, brothers.
I got one last question for you, real quick. Mark, you read the Bible, right?
Of course I do.
Don't you remember when Elias, what did his name turn into later?
Elisha,
yeah.
It's still Eli, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what is Eli when he show up?
Eli.
Or is that not the master teacher? I'm sorry. I'll leave it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got lost. I was like, what the hell is he going with this? Where's he going with this?
Brother C,
well, hold on.
Go ahead.
I will say this though.
Go ahead and drop
Here's what I remember. power is not given, it is taken. Tupac made a great analogy when it was interviews. If you're sitting there starving and you're hungry, and behind that door is a bunch of food and people are throwing salami and bologna all over the place, but you're hungry, and you say, please, sir, can I get some? They're going to laugh at you. But if you go in there and kick down the door and demand it, see, here's the thing. You got to give no people no choice. All right? Because you never know how strong you are until that's the only option you have left.
That's right.
And I'll leave y'all can say y'all piece. I'll leave it at that.
Go ahead, real spiel.
Let me ask you one question. Real quick. I'm sorry, y'all.
God damn, students.
I'm sorry. Cease.
Yes, Grasshopper?
I'm sorry. Real spiel, I'm sorry. Hey, Cease, are you in London?
No, dude, I'm in Massachusetts. I am 2 towns. Actually, fuck that. I'm in Westfield.
There you
I'm in
go.
2 towns from
I'm
Springfield.
talking about the way you talk, your accent. It sounds like a London accent, kind of.
That's because that northeasterner thing. They still kind of
I'm a New England.
That, that
hold on.
northeast thing.
Well, one is the way I was raised. Okay, I didn't like people hear me on the phone. They think, well, and I think this is very toxic. You sound like a white guy, and I'm like, how does a white person sound?
Yeah, you do though.
He
sounds
like a motherfucker who speaks English.
I speak English.
No, but
from the hood,
chaos.
Point of
chaos.
view.
Look, okay,
from a hood point of view.
Mark. I'll say this real quick. Quick background about me. I was raised in the suburbs. My dad was a hood dude. He was raised in the projects. He came up and said, "I don't want my kids to be raised like this."
Smart.
That's how I'm raising my son.
Facts.
We in the suburbs.
So he didn't want he has 5 children, but 4 of us by the same woman. My mother, okay? So, and my mother grew up in a very Pentecostal Baptist household, a military brat. So we've learned to speak a certain way.
That's where you get that from. That's where you get it from.
I'm cognizant of the grammatical parameters of normal English conversation.
I know you are, but see,
you my brother regardless. I don't care. You still my brother.
But here's the funny thing. All my best friends are hood people.
Hey, Steve, I'm not trying to talk about like where you from or nothing. I was just trying to catch the accent. Like chaos.
No,
the way he talk real fast and this, that. Like the way you say certain things, it sounds like a British accent to me. Somewhere.
Well, I get why you say that, but no, I'm talking about like even when I growing up, I got shunned by the black community because like you're not hood enough. And guess what? Guess where they are now.
I get why you said it.
Trust me, I feel you, man. Hood English is my second language. Because I was reading so early, I learned proper English first and picked up our slang and shit as I lived on. You see what I'm saying? So I understand where you're coming from.
I used to talk about a slang that my grandma kind of snapped me out of that crap. My grandmother and my mother and my uncle snapped me out of that crap. And it's like you're not gonna get too far with that in life. With that, so you can either speak street vernacular or job interview. Because of my profession.
Shout out to code switching.
How do you speak at the interview?
Huh?
And then real spiel, and the Mark. Like, how do you all speak at the interview? Like, is YouTube the way y'all talk at the regular interview?
I talk like this all the time. I'm like this 24/7.
I'm gonna tell you.
I know how to turn it on.
I used to code switch, right? But as I gotten older, there's this little homunculus that lives inside my brain named I don't give a fuck. And every so often, that little nigga will just be like, I'm taking over. So my last job interview.
That's how I am.
But I'm saying my last job interview, I went into the motherfucking job interview and I spoke to him just like I speak to y'all, right? Now, I speak a slightly more proper, but not much more. Like I'll use less slang, but I still speak with the same cadences and shit. That motherfucker didn't let me out of the office until I got the job. Okay, so do you, black people, don't be afraid to bring who you are to the table.
Hey, I just want to say salute you, Mark. You ain't got no thumbs down. You got all thumbs up, so you doing something good, brother. Salute all my AD. Let's rock,
That's right. Let's rock, family. Hey, look, let me tell you something. Listen to me, ADOS family, American descendants of slaves. Listen to me. Our brother Frederick Douglass told us that a people that desire change without agitation is like desiring crops without rain. We have to agitate. We have to be bold, unapologetic, uncompromising, and we have to be unified. Today is the day. Grab the brother and sister next to you. Get in their face. Tell them you are a proud descendant of slaves. You are a child of the impossible. You were not meant to be here, but yet here you are. That our ancestors bled, fought, and died, and turned the soil of this country rich, so that they could ultimately one day have it as an inheritance. And let's get our asses up and go fight and give these motherfuckers a bit of what for. So until the next time I see you all, I want to wish all of you love, peace, prosperity, and power. Real power to our people.
One love.
Good looking out. Hello? Yeah, just like that.
Nah, I'm still here, but yeah, I'm gonna be stopping the broadcast pretty soon. Everybody can still hear you, so you can say whatever you like. The show's over.
Oh, no.
Nah, man. Like I said, join the Discord family. I know y'all probably can still hear me on the broadcast. Join the goddamn Discord. The conversation continues, right? Join the Discord, and I'm gonna.
You're only talking to us on Discord, aren't you?
I am. I'm telling the family that's listening to join the Discord because they can still hear us, right? But brothers, thank you.
No, they can't because your shit is over.
I haven't stopped broadcasting. CRU, damn you! They can't hear us.
My bad.
Join the Discord.
CRU,
Start chopping.
CRU, man.
No,
don't you listen?
It's all good. Family, I love you all. Thank you, brothers, for your input, for your mighty voices. Thank all of you. Keep fighting. Keep going strong. I'm going to get me something to eat, and I'm going to holler at you niggas.
Yeah, y'all do that.
Peace.